Will be tails. Georgia, heads or tails? What is your selection?
Tails.
Tails is called. It is tails. Georgia, you've won the coin toss. Georgia has won the coin toss and has elected to defer their option to the second half. Alabama, you want to receive. Which way would you like to kick? It's turn. Which back's to here? Your back's to here.
I don't know if I've ever heard a Georgia crowd that excited for the flip of a coin.
Boy, I haven't either. The stadium absolutely erupted. Right now, Georgia fans, maybe 70% to 30%, two-thirds, one-third in favor of the Dogs that made the trip up to Indianapolis to brave the cold. But they're going to see the heat tonight.
All right, the Dogs win the toss. They deferred to the second half. And that was quite a roar. And we're not even getting the ball to start the ball game. But we'll get it in the second half when hopefully things will be considerably different. It's time to tee this one up in the national championship here at Lucas Oil Stadium. The opening kickoff powered by Georgia Power. Whether you're heading on the way to the stadium or you're on the way to the stadium or heading home from a win, charge up with Georgia Power. Plug in at one of their convenient EV charging stations today. All right, we're ready to get this one underway. It's been a long morning, afternoon, and into the evening hours waiting for this one to get started, and we are just as excited as you are. High above the field here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth in Lucas Oil Stadium. Our first half tonight is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all, 1-800-CALL-KEN. Dogs will kick off, and JoJo Earl is the deep receiver for Alabama, stands on the goal line.
Boy, in the Dog Nation that has made the trip up here, you can just, the excitement, you can just feel every bit of it is 41 years of frustration. Everybody in the Dog Nation is ready to see that be a thing of the past.
Jake Camarda kicks from right to left, teed up on the 35. He'll boom it high, in over in. Kick going to come down shy of the goal line at the 1.5 where Earl makes the fair catch. And Alabama will take the ball at the 25-yard line on the fair catch touch. And we'll see Georgia's vaunted defense to start this ball game and Alabama's high-powered offense. Georgia football brought to you in part by your Atlanta area BMW centers, providing legendary performance, exceptional offers, and a premium ownership experience. At BMW, they only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWATL.com today, proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics.
Dogs, 5.5 weeks ago, played very soft in the secondary. Coming out, first snap here, we're bump coverage on the outside.
5 across the defensive front for Georgia. First play is a handoff to Brian Robinson, swinging around to the left for Alabama. Hit at the 30 and knocked down there by the linebacker Nakobe Dean. They'll spot it back on the 29-yard line. The pickup for Robinson, who had over 200 yards in their playoff game against Cincinnati, is 4. It's second down and 6. Alabama will go the opposite way this time. Robinson stutter steps out inside the hash mark, coming this way, cuts back inside, and will tackle him down with Quay Walker, the linebacker, at the 33-yard line. That's another 4-yard gain for Alabama, and they're looking at 3rd and 2 here on this first series.
Well, that was all Robinson there. It was just a quick pitch to the outside. Dogs over pursued. Robinson able to cut back underneath 3 Dogs for the pickup.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Robinson in the backfield with Bryce Young, the Heisman winner. Snap to the quarterback. Will throw it to the left. It's caught by Bolden on the run towards the sideline. He got a step on William Poole and outraced him to the border on the far side of the field. And Poole will push him in the back out of bounds at the 44-yard line. A pickup of 11, and Alabama moving here 1st and 10 now on their own 44-yard line.
Yeah, just a quick out route there by Bolden from a bunch. For a trips bunch formation, able to outflank the Georgia defense. Georgia did bring linebacker pressure again, just like in the first game, unable to penetrate that Bama offensive front.
Ball's on the Alabama 44, 1st and 10. Young with pressure. Davis has got him and wraps him up and drops him to the turf. And the ball is out. Georgia's got a man running down the far sideline. No whistle, I don't believe. Georgia has run it into the end zone. A touchdown. The ball came out. I didn't see it. But all of a sudden we had a guy, Nakobe Dean, that had the football running in front of the Alabama sideline. The officials say a touchdown. Now they're talking about it. We'll look at the replay. Bryce Young tried to step up in the pocket. Jordan Davis swallowed him whole, slung him to the turf, and the next thing you see is
for a touchdown.
Nakobe Dean running down the far sideline for a score.
And a great job by the Georgia secondary there in coverage, but that front couldn't get to him in the first game. That time we do. And they're going to go back, I'm sure, and take a look at this, as it looked like Bryce Young was trying just to flick it out.
Ruling on the field of a fumble return for a touchdown is under further review.
So the play is going to be under review. We're looking at the replay as well. And Z, as we looked at that replay, Jordan Davis had Bryce Young by the arm, by the right arm, had him by the bicep, and Young was still able to move his arm forward in a motion to throw the ball, and he threw it on the ground through one of his teammates' legs, and it went bouncing. That's when Nakobe Dean picked it up at around, it looked like maybe the 45-yard line or so, and scrambled to the sidelines and headed down into the end zone for an apparent touchdown. But the play is under review. It's brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs.
Well, I think this one's probably going to come back. He was in the middle of a throwing motion, but then the next question would be, is that going to be intentional grounding to push him back and loss it down as well?
ACC crew, referee Dwayne Haight and company looking this play over, upside down and sideways. Every play in this under this microscope is so huge. I mean, you can't overlook anything. Jordan Davis had Young's arm, had his bicep, and you know, it's hard to say. Was it affected by Jordan Davis's tackle and grabbing the arm and forcing it down into a throwing motion? Or was it Bryce Young getting the ball out of his hands in a throwing motion? Or is it a fumble, as it's been called on the field, scooped up by Nakobe Dean and run into the end zone for the touchdown? Here's the referee now as he sheds the headphone and will make the announcement.
After further review, the quarterback's hand was moving forward for an incomplete pass. Second down.
I think that's a good call. I'm a little surprised that ball didn't get beyond the line of scrimmage. Jameson Williams was in the vicinity. That was his target that he was trying to get the ball to. So probably could have made a case for an intentional grounding there, but what would have been a tough call, I think, even to overturn that part of it. Nonetheless, what you like to see, great push by the interior part of that Georgia defensive line. That is exactly what we have to have today. Those big boys in the middle, they've got to win this battle.
Three officials now talking with Kirby Smart on the Georgia sideline. And now that meeting will break up. And we will resume play here at the 44. Second down and 10. Georgia fans didn't like the call, and you're hearing from them now here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Man in motion, the tight end, then return motion to the left. They'll throw a screen out to the left side to Williams, who leaps in the air on the Alabama sideline. We bump him in the air and send him to his left in the air about 2 or 3 feet. He gets into Georgia territory at the 45. Darion Kendrick with the push into the sideline for Georgia. That's a first down for Alabama now. 1st and 10 at the Georgia 45 after all that confusion a few moments ago. Bryce Young tries to sidearm one to the left to Latu, his tight end to the near side. It's incomplete at the Georgia 43-yard line. So they're working the edges.
They are right now, and you go back to that first down play a play ago. It was just a quick bubble screen to the outside. Alabama actually brought one of their big tight ends in motion. They had 2 guys blocking 1 defender. Just a ton of room to run after the catch on the bubble screen.
Young in the shotgun, takes the snap, quick throw, release on a crossing route, caught at the 41. And that's Latu fighting for yards downfield and will be tackled at the Georgia 36 by the safety Christopher Smith. But the gain is to the 36, and that's 9 more yards. It's 3rd and short for Alabama. 3rd and a yard to go as they substitute late here. Now the center judge runs up and holds the snap of the football. And Georgia will substitute defensively. Devontae Wyatt checking in. And We're going to bring out Jordan Davis. Nope, that's Logue. Excuse me, Zion Logue comes out. 3rd and a yard to go for Alabama. They're on the Georgia 36. We're scoreless here in the first possession. Toss it to Robinson out wide to the left. To the left, rather. He bobbles the pitch but secures it, and then we'll pick up the first down as he crosses the 35. We hit him at the 34 with Channing Tindall, the linebacker, and Christopher Smith, the safety. But he got 2 yards and he got the first down. 1st and 10, Alabama at the Bulldogs 34.
Just another quick pitch there by Alabama trying to get out of contain. And you're right, Alabama right now very patient, just working the edges, trying to get outside of the box right now and get their athletes in space.
2 receivers left, 2 wide to the right. Alabama on the far hash moving to our right. Here comes pressure. Wright throws it, and it's caught again at the 30 by Slade Bolden. And Bolden will get 5 yards after the catch, hit at the 25 by Lewis Seen, the safety for the Bulldog defense. And now it's 2nd and a yard to go.
Channing Tindall came on pressure there. Slade Bolden was in the backfield, just an angle route. That was the hot read for Bryce Young. Good job of recognition and getting the football out of his hands.
Georgia continues to substitute defensively. We run Jalen Carter back into the ball game. They run a toss, a pitch out to the left to Sanders. We've grabbed him from behind with Nolan Smith, the linebacker, but couldn't get him to the turf. He had him around the waist and was being pulled like a sled around on the far sideline. And Sanders going to be out of bounds at the 24-yard line. So he only got a yard there, but they got the first down. It was 2nd and a yard to go. Now it's 1st and 10 at the Georgia 24. We're scoreless. First quarter, 10:50 on the clock. Alabama moving. They dodged a bullet on an overturned review a few moments ago when Georgia picked up the football and had an apparent touchdown, but the official said no, it was an incomplete pass instead and not a fumble. 1st and 10 tied at the Georgia 24, moving to our right. Snap in an empty set. Young avoids the rush, rolls to the right, throws on the run, and incomplete down around the 5-yard line. Tried to go to Billingsley, one of the tight ends, and William Poole was providing the coverage for the Bulldogs. The nickelback from Atlanta. Trayvon Walker was the guy that had pretty good pressure on right, forced him to run to the right and throw off balance. And it was an incomplete pass down around the 5. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. Crimson Tide at the Bulldogs 24.
Dogs brought 2 linebackers, forced the Alabama offensive line to squeeze on that. That's what allowed Walker to get up to Bryce Young free. Even though we didn't get him on the ground, we're getting hands on him right now. Drastically improved from 5 weeks ago.
Long first possession for Alabama, 12th play of the drive. They run a screen to the receiver out to the right. Ja'Cory Brooks makes the catch, the freshman from Miami, and tackled by Christopher Smith around the 19 or the 20-yard line. They'll put the nose of the ball on the 19 for Alabama. Pick up a 5. It's 3rd and 5 to go. They're in the red zone for the first time. Young claps his hands, asks for the ball. They snap it. He backs up and throws, misses his target. He had a man wide open, Billingsley, at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Billingsley fell down coming out of his route. He was going to run an out route, a little choose route where he turns to the inside, then breaks it back to the outside as he was at the top of his stem. Fell down. Dogs again brought pressure, forcing Bryce Young to get rid of that football a little sooner than he wanted to.
So Alabama's drive finally runs out of steam at the 19-yard line with that incompletion. They'll go to Will Reichard to try to get the first points. 37-yard field goal, near hash kicking right. Snap, hold, kick is in the air, reaching towards the uprights, and good. And Alabama with a 37-yard field goal on the board first. They lead here in the national championship game 3-0. Our first half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured in a wreck, there's only one call, that's all. 1-800-CALL-KEN. Alabama 3, Dogs get the ball when we come back on the Bulldogs.
Better, serving you best.
Dogs hoping to raise the roof tonight. In fact, we can touch the roof just about here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. High above the field here, but a great view of Lucas Oil Stadium. Alabama with a 3-0 lead on a 37-yard Will Reichert field goal. The drive took 5 minutes and 5 seconds, 14 plays, and 56 yards. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
Well, critical for the Dogs all night long to answer Alabama whenever they strike.
And here's Georgia's chance as Reichert will kick it into the end zone to Kenny McIntosh. He'll catch it about 2.5 yards deep and take a knee and take the touchback. Dogs will have their first possession starting at our 25-yard line. 3-0 is the score. Alabama puts points on the board on their first possession of the ball game, although almost not. The play was overturned. Georgia thought it had recovered a fumble and returned it 45 yards for a touchdown by Nakobe Dean, but the play overruled or reviewed rather and overturned. Dogs at the 25. Stetson Bennett in at quarterback. He's under center. Zamir White, the lone setback. Play fake. Bennett rolls to the right. Avoids a tackler. Nope, he got enough of his leg and knocks him down back at the 11-yard line. Christian Harris. Bennett hesitated, tried to fake out the linebacker blitzing from the edge. But Harris got just enough of his ankle, and Bennett couldn't keep his balance and falls down back at the 11-yard line and loses 14 yards on the sack.
Yeah, not the kind of start that the Dogs wanted here, but it's a good job by Stetson not trying to force that. Had a naked bootleg that was on. Didn't fool Alabama at all. Coverage was pretty good behind it as well.
Way behind the sticks now on this first possession. Second down on the 11. Handoff. Zamir White runs to the near side. Whistle's blowing. I believe they're going to stop the play.
Prior to the ball being snapped, delay game, disconcerting signals, defense, number 10 clapping, 5-yard penalty, second down.
That's the veteran linebacker Henry To'o, the transfer from Tennessee, a junior from Sacramento, California. You can't clap on the football field anymore. When did you ever think you would hear that?
Well, you've got so many offenses now that use the clap as really the signal to snap the football. So defense is trying to do it.
Well, you heard the explanation. I mean, it's trying to,
That's right. They're trying
false
to cheat.
signals.
They're trying to cheat.
They're trying to cheat.
What they're trying to do.
Ball on the 16 now. And it's second down for the Bulldogs. Bennett with time in the pocket. Now he's going to pull it down and run. 15-20 between the hash marks. 25. He dropped the football. Dropped it. It bounced right back up to him around the 27. He was just running and dropped it at the 25. Fortunately, he got a fortuitous bounce right back up into his arms and tackled at the 30.
Boy, great
lucky
job
break there.
It was. Great job using his legs. He tried to put a little move on and knocked it out of his own arms. Bounced right back up into him, though. But that run gets the Dogs now into third and medium. Definitely something that we can go convert on. 3rd and 5.
Yeah, the gain was 14 with the fumbled football and the bounce for Stetson Bennett. McIntosh in the backfield for the Dogs. 3 receivers to the right and 1 to the left. Ball's on the 30. There's the snap, and here comes the whistle again.
Delay game. Offense. 5-yard penalty.
Jeez.
3rd down.
Boy, that's a tough one right there. We had exactly what we wanted to do. Alabama was dropping 8. Just had 3 guys with their hands in the ground. Created a little bit of confusion. Stetson tried to get up and change the play. Just lost sight of the play clock.
So now it's 3rd and 10 instead of 3rd and 5 after we lost 14 yards on the initial sack on this series. 3rd and 10 for Georgia. We're on our 25, back to the original line of scrimmage. Snap to Bennett. Stetson surveys, rolls to the right, running and looking and still looking. Now he cocks and fires, and in and out of the hands at the 30-yard line. Ladd McConkey couldn't hang on. He had an Alabama defender, Kyrie Jackson, tackling him at the same time. Ball came out loose, hit the turf. It's an incomplete pass, and Georgia will have to punt.
A lot of different looks right now from this Alabama secondary. Ended up just going single safety and played cover 3. But they actually rotated a safety down and brought another safety back. So trying to give Stetson some different looks and create a little bit of confusion.
Here's Jake Camarda in punt formation. Best average, career average punting of any Georgia kicker ever. And he booms one here, sending Bolden back to his 20, calls for a fair catch. He backs up a little bit more and makes it at the 19 on the outside of the numbers on the far side of the field. Tremendous punt by Jake Camarda, 55 yards, no return, and we've got a timeout here in Indianapolis. It's Alabama with a 3-0 lead on Georgia, 8:19 to go, first quarter game tonight. Georgia and Alabama, the Crimson Tide with a 3-0 lead here in the first quarter, 8:19 remaining. Alabama with the football, they moved it up to the 20. They spotted it on the 19, but now they've moved it on the 20 again. Alabama waiting to snap the football. Everybody in place and ready to go, but somebody's not ready. Maybe television, I guess. Yep. So here we go. Alabama with a 3-0 lead. Young back in the shotgun with Robinson to his right. They bring a man in motion. That's Williams. He'll throw to the motion man after a play fake. Caught it at the 19 behind the line, and we pile him up back at the 17-yard line, led by William Poole first, and then the linebacker Channing Tindall. This time they will spot it on the 19, so that's a lost yardage play of 1, and it'll be second down 11.
Great recognition there by the Georgia defense. Williams came all the way across the formation in motion, just a quick out route.
Snap to Young. Crossing route to Williams, reaches up high, catches it at the 30 with the defender trailing, tackled from behind Keely Ringo. But all he needed was a step on our defensive back, and he got it all the way up to the 34-yard line, a gain of 15, first down.
Just so quick.
Here's a handoff to Robinson, right into the pile. We jam it up just short of the 35-yard line. Nolan Smith, the linebacker, got in the gap, grabbed the leg of Robinson and pulled him down to the turf. And he got a yard, so second down and 9 is the down and distance for the Crimson Tide. They go with a little bit of tempo here, leading it 3-0 first quarter. Empty set now for Young. Takes the snap in the shotgun, has a man Bolden open at the 41-yard line. Connects with his target. We hit him and drive him back. Tindall on the stop again for the Dogs. They spotted up forward to his forward progress at the 41-yard line, and that's a gain of 6. It'll be third down and 3 for Alabama from their own 46-yard line.
First or second time today that the Dogs went straight zone against that empty look, just dropped back into a cover 2 look. Bolden saw that, had a little option right on, just sat it down in the soft spot.
Ball's on the 41, third and 3. Williams in motion to the left for Alabama. Here comes pressure on Young. He'll get rid of it quickly. He had a safety route, Bolden, on a cross at the 40, dumps it off to him, but we hit him immediately, and he's going to lose a yard on the play as Slade Bolden was covered up by Lewis Seen almost immediately, Z.
Yeah, he was. Dogs brought pressure there again. Nakobe Dean was one that came with pressure on the outside. Walker was the other one that came with pressure. Lewis Seen immediately down from his safety position. Bolden was the hot outlet on that play for Bryce Young, but Lewis Seen saw it all the way and ate it up.
That's more like it for the Dogs defense now in punt formation, and here's James Burnip to kick it away. Kearis Jackson is the deep man for the Dogs back on our 15. Burnip will try to angle it to the right, and Kearis comes up to make the fair catch at the 24. He's bumped into, I don't know if he was blocked, man was blocked into him, but kind of hit him low and knocked him to the turf, but no flag on the play. Georgia fans boo that, and we'll move on to the next snap of the football at the 25-yard lines where Georgia will have it. The punt covered only 35 yards. Along with Eric Zier, Scott Howard with you here in the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. The rest of our regular crew has been assembled once again for this final game of the 2021 season here on January 10th, 2022 in frigid Indianapolis, Indiana. 5:46 to go first quarter. Alabama 3, Georgia nothing. Dogs ball. First and 10 on our own 25. We're in white and moving to our left. Handoff. James Cook hit as he crosses the line of scrimmage, angling to the left. Hit right on the hash mark. When he got to the 25, they bopped him at the 26. Will Anderson, the linebacker, who's got all kinds of great defensive numbers, makes the tackle for the Crimson Tide. The gain is 1. It'll be second and 9 for the Dogs.
Alabama single safety, dropped the safety down into the box. Trying to put this game into Stetson's hands to see if he can beat him.
Rosemy-Jackson out wide to the right, and Cook, a receiver, to the left. And we've got McIntosh in the backfield, going to bring James in motion in front of the quarterback to the far side. hand it to McIntosh, trying to bounce to the edge and get outside. They just get his ankle again, and that is Harris, the linebacker. Same kind of tackle he got on the sack on Stetson Bennett. He's down at the 26-yard line right there. Let's go to the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. DJ Shockley. Shock.
Yeah, fellas, you talked about all this single high, and that's some of the thing that Alabama wanted to do coming to this ball game was to drop both safeties down and use another defensive back in the middle of the field to make it look different. But all the talk on the sideline was this looks just like our defense.
Bennett was in the shotgun. Now he's going to step up and talk to his line. Cooks to his left. 3 receivers right and 1 to the left. We want to throw. Bennett chased out of the pocket, rolling right at the 15, looking downfield. He'll launch it and short hops it at the 40. The intended target, Burton, was at the 45 on the Alabama side of the field, and the pass never got to him. Anderson was chasing down Stetson Bennett from behind. Stetson able to elude him for the most part, just didn't get a lot of juice on the football. He got hit by To'o right after the release.
Yeah, another smart decision there by Stetson. Protection broke down a little bit. Alabama brought 5. Actually played zone behind it, though. Maybe he had a shot once he got outside the pocket to hit Burton if he would have led Burton down the field, but wasn't ready to throw the football. So at that point, just throw it away. Let your defense go back to work.
Now we got a punt again on 4th and a long way. 9. Here's Camarda's punt. Fair catch at the 30. Maybe fair catch interference. There's a flag down. Bolden made the grab at the 30-yard line. We had 3 or 4 guys around him. 44-yard punt by Jake. And then the flag came out at the 30-yard line. And we're probably going to see a penalty against the Dogs
fair
here.
Fair catch interference. Number 9, kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's going to help Alabama here as they walk it off, and we go into a timeout. 3-0 is our score right now, and well, let's go ahead with 4:12 to go on the clock here in quarter number 1, and Alabama up 3-0. Let's recap the quarter. Presented by Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia, and Ag South Farm Credit, loans for land and farms. Here's the number that jumps out to me. The Dogs have had 2 possessions so far, Z. We have 1 total yard of offense. Alabama was 76, 0 passing yards. Stetson 0 for 2 so far. Bryce Young 9 of 13, 64 yards. They have the only points on the 37-yard Reichert field goal. And certainly a big play that didn't exist really in the record books was the overturned call. Georgia thought they had a fumble. They picked it up, ran it 45 yards back into the end zone for an apparent score, but it was reviewed and overturned, and the explanation was it was an incomplete pass. So that's how the first quarter has gone thus far for Georgia. Alabama will have the ball when time resumes at their own 45-yard line after the 15-yard penalty against the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and the Dogs going to have to find a way to get something positive on first down. The first series of the game, we lose 14 yards. Second series that we have, really no gain. Got 1 yard on a run, but against this talented Alabama defense, when you're in 3rd and long situations, awfully tough to convert. Dogs right now 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions. The Tide 2 for 4.
Long way to go, however. It's a 3-0 Alabama lead. Let's go down to the Cooks Pest Control sidelines and DJ Shockley. DJ.
Fellas, if it looks like the defense is all over the place and they're doing a good job, if we've seen everybody's seen the movie The Program with Max in there and they're talking about these different plays and he knows every single play, that's what it looked like pregame. Schumann and Lanning were going over different sets, different things you see, and it looked like everybody was on the same page. There's a different mindset for the defense coming to this ball game. And the last goal on the sheet today was to not let Williams beat us. So it's an emphasis on a lot of guys on this team, but Williams absolutely is the guy that they paid a lot of attention to. And each guy on the defense is starting to play to it.
Thanks, Shock. Williams has 3 catches thus far for 25 yards. He hasn't gotten deep, but they've pecked us to death so far early on, although they only lead 3-0. But Bolden with 4 catches for 25 yards, and as I said, Williams with 3 for 25. Dogs have not been able to complete a pass just yet. 1st and 10 Alabama, and they will start this possession at their own 45-yard line as we start to get a little late in the opening quarter. Alabama in their crimson jerseys, white pants. Georgia in the White jerseys again. 4th straight game we've been in white. Silver breeches, red helmets. 70,000 or so here at Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis for the national championship. And here we go as we continue with 4:12 to play first quarter. Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young in at quarterback, back on the 40. He's in the shotgun with one running back to his left. Our defensive front shifts to the right. They snap it to Young. He stands, looks, fires to the left, just throws it away into the bench over the heads of everybody on the far sideline. Williams and Sanders were a couple of guys on that side of the field. Seen was over there as well for Georgia's defense, but Bryce Young just chunked it away, and he'll take 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, a lot of different looks right now coming from the Dogs, mixing up zone, man, mixing up when we're bringing pressure. Again, just trying to create different looks and hopefully a little bit of confusion for this Alabama quarterback and offense.
Clock stop with 4:07 to go in the quarter on the incompletion. 2nd and 10. They will run it with Sanders sweeping around to the left. He gets to the corner, turns upfield, and probably wishes he hadn't. He got clobbered at the 48.5-yard line by Lewis Seen. A Mack truck just ran right through him, right in front of the Alabama coaching staff.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
Again, Dogs just in cover 2. Great close, though, by Lewis Seen, and brought the wood when he came.
He did get 4 to the 49. So it'll be 3rd down and 6 for Alabama on their own 49. Snap to Young. Pressure from the edge. He runs away and throws it. Short hops his target, middle of the field. Billingsley, the tight end in Georgia territory. Quay Walker almost got Young in the backfield there, and Trayvon Walker. And he had to get rid of the football, Z, in a hurry.
He sure did. Great job of creating eye confusion there for the Dogs. We showed blitz off to Bryce Young's right side. That's where all of the eye candy was being given. We drop back into zone there and bring Walker with a blitz from the other side.
Burnip on to punt for Alabama on the 35. They snap it to him. Kearis Jackson is the deep receiver for Georgia. Burnip hangs it up forever. High kick finally comes down. Fair catch. Jackson inside the 10 on the far side of the field. Right on the sideline. Caught it at the 8. Fair catch. 42 yards. And about 42 seconds of hang time, I think. That took forever to come down.
Well, let's see here if the Dogs try to get Brock Bowers and James Cook involved in this football game. We've been stagnant on the first couple of drives, but really important here that at a bare minimum, we get a couple of first downs coming out from the shadow of our own goal line and flip the field. At the bare minimum, need to go do that and need to get the football into our playmakers' hands.
We've only run 6 plays. Alabama's already produced 21. We're on our own 8 after the punt. Handoff. Zamir White. He stutter steps to the line of scrimmage, then pokes his head in there straight ahead. There's a flag down as Zamir will be brought down by a gang of tacklers at the 12. Now let's check the penalty marker right there at the end of the play.
Personal foul. Illegal hands to the face. Offense. Number 54. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, you never see that on an inside trap play.
They called it on Schaefer, our guard. He had his right hand in a helmet. He may have had a thumb in the ear hole on the Alabama players. We looked at the replay. So the Dogs can't get out of their own way here in the first quarter. We're back inside our 5 at the 4-yard line now, and it's 1st and 14. 3-0 is the score here in the opening period of the national championship, but the Dogs are backed up deep. White in the end zone with Stetson Bennett. They snap the ball, hand it to Zamir. He bounces out to the left, runs behind left tackle straight up the field to the 10. We'll see if they give him any more than that. No, right on the 10. Tackle made by To'o, the linebacker for the Crimson Tide. He got 6.
Well, good strong run there by Zeus. Stuck his foot in the ground, got north and south. He brought as much of that contact as the Alabama defense did.
That's his bread and butter. Leave a mark. 3 receiver set, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Georgia. Bowers is out here wide to the left. Zeus in the backfield, Bennett in the shotgun. Here comes blitz pressure up the middle. Bennett throws, caught, 15-yard line by the Dogs. And that's going to be the big O. Darnell Washington caught it at the 15. They'll tackle him at the 19-yard line. Will Anderson makes the stop, but that's a Scana Energy first down up to the 19, a pickup of 9 yards for the Dogs, 1st and 10 at the 19.
Good job by the Georgia offensive line, picking up the blitzing linebacker from Alabama. Washington just replaced the blitzing linebacker. Nice work by Stetson to locate him for the first down of the game for the Red and Black.
Zeus to Bennett's right, a little bit behind him as Stetson is in the shotgun. They'll fake the toss to Bennett, throw a deep ball down the field. He's got a man running open. That's Pickens. He leaves his feet and brings it in. Oh, my gosh, what a catch.
Boy, what a catch and what a throw as well. We faked the little toss to Brock Bowers, got everybody moving there, and then Pickens, a deep post. What I love about it, Stetson got that football out of his hand early, and Pickens enough juice in the tank to go get it.
Pickens on his fingertips, left his feet, and did a tumble after he caught it. 52 yards all the way down to the 29 of Alabama. 1st and 10 there for the Dogs. That's a Scana Energy first down the hard way. Dogs 1st and 10, we go empty. Throw it to Bowers, left side, breaks one tackle, fights through another, and they'll bring him down at the 19-yard line. Threw it in the left flat to Brock, and that's his first catch of the game.
Just a little bubble screen on the outside to Brock, and you know how difficult he is. He's so strong, just able to bowl his way down for a great first down pickup.
Dogs work their way into the Massey Ferguson red zone with 51 seconds to go. Clock is moving. Experience the compact utility tractors that will take you through the season strong with Massey Ferguson. Dogs at the 19-yard line on a couple of big pass plays. That last one, a lot of the damage done after the catch. Pickens with a huge 52-yard catch on an incredible reception. And now we snap, and I think we moved early, and flags fly everywhere, and the whistle blows.
Ball start. Offense, number 69. 5-yard penalty. First down.
We had a 3 tight end formation there, but it was our left tackle, Salyer, that moved early. And that is our, that's our fourth penalty of the quarter. Less than 30 seconds to go. Dogs on the move, but backing up 5 to the 24.
Boy, I love Coach Munkin on this drive, getting our tight ends involved in the football game. Alabama struggled mightily with our tight ends in the first game. Keep going to them unless they prove they've got an answer.
This time Z will go to the right. 3 receivers to the right. Play clock running down. We're going to run it with Zeus. Oh, he gets knocked on his back as he tries to angle to the left. Got hit up high and knocked on his back by DJ Dale, the nose guard, at the 24-yard line. Maybe just a smidge beyond that line of scrimmage. And that's going to be the last play of the quarter. The ball will be, they'll put it on the 23, so they'll give him a yard, and it'll be second down coming up for Georgia as we begin the second quarter. Before we go to the break, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. Back here inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth as we get set for quarter number 2, and the Dogs on the move, and they found George Pickens on a deep route, Z. And what an incredible catch by Pickens, who left his feet, dove for the ball. We've seen him do that before, just not a whole lot this season. He missed most of the year as he recovered from a ACL tear back in March. But, wow, great to have number 1 back with catches like that as we watch it again on the replay. And that's set up the Dogs here. They're on their own, on the Alabama 23-yard line now. But penalties keep hurting the Dogs. We had 4 in the first quarter.
Yeah, really couldn't have played much worse in the first quarter, especially on the offensive side of the ball. But good play by the defense. Dogs still very much in this game, obviously, and knocking on the door here.
Second down and 14 from the Alabama 23-yard line. Dogs now moving to our right. Play fake. Stetson Bennett will throw a short pass on a crossing route to Brock Bowers. Catches it going right to left at the 20. And they'll stack him up around the 18-yard line. Dallas Turner, the linebacker, a freshman from Fort Lauderdale, leading the way. And the Dogs are back inside the Massey Ferguson red zone again. But it's 3rd and long now. 3rd down and 9 for Georgia from the Alabama 18-yard line.
Good pickup there by Zeus as Alabama brought linebacker pressure. That was just our hot route with Brock Bowers going across the formation. Stetson, that ball thrown just a little bit behind Stetson, so he had to stop all of his momentum.
Bowers now the wide out to the near side. Jackson in the slot. Cook in the backfield. Bennett going to throw it to Burton on a cross. He makes the catch between the hash marks at the 12 and steps inside the 10. They hit him at the 8. Scana Energy first down for the Dogs. Helms, the free safety, made the tackle. Dogs up to the line of scrimmage quickly. It's goal to go for the Dogs at the 8-yard line. Handoff, Cook looking for room on the left side. Alabama's going to grab him and keep him right there. He may have lost a yard back to the 9. That's DeMarco Helms again, the free safety, who found a little bit of a crease and got in there to stop James Cook behind the line of scrimmage for about a 1-yard loss. It'll be second down and goal from the Alabama 9 now for the Bulldogs.
Alabama defensive line right now winning the battle in the trenches against our offensive line, just unable to get any kind of good push and anything going. Look to see if we start taking our running game, try to get out on the perimeter and out on the edges here and break contain.
We go empty set, 3 receivers right and 2 to the left for Stetson Bennett. We're on the Alabama 9, second down and goal. Snap to Bennett, throws towards the end zone. Nobody's there. He overthrows everybody. Brock Bowers was trying to fight his way to the spot in the back corner of the end zone where Bennett threw the football, but he kept being bumped around by the secondary, Helms, and never got to the spot. It's an incomplete pass.
We had a twin set to Stetson's left, just ran a hitch on the outside, trying to throw a fade, an inside fade to Brock Bowers there. Stetson got that football too far up the field and to the inside, and Brock never could locate it.
Dogs on the Alabama 9, third down and goal now. McIntosh bursts out of the backfield. Bennett's going to run it. At the 8, at the 7, at the 6, hit it to 5. He was kind of stutter-stepping, looked a little hesitant. I don't know if that was by design or not, the quarterback run. And they'll spot him down just shy of the 5 at about the 5.5. Anderson, the linebacker, made the final tackle. And Georgia will have to go for a field goal right in front of the uprights here with Jack Podlesny. And it'll be from a short distance, inside 25 yards for the field goal try here.
Just a quarterback draw there on that third down play. I think that was by design. Alabama did a good job of recognizing it. They kept the safety pretty close to the box. That's what created the hesitancy.
Here's the snap by Georgia, the hold by Camarda, and the kick by Jack Podlesny is up and good. And that is a 24-yard field goal to tie the ball game. We're 3 apiece, Georgia and Alabama, with 12:35 remaining in the second quarter. A timeout. Our first half is presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Back with you here in Indianapolis, inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth at Lucas Oil Stadium. Georgia ties the game with a 24-yard Jack Podlesny field goal. Well, our first 2 drives, we had 1 total yard of offense. After that one, we got a little bit more. That was an 11-play, 87-yard drive. It took almost 6 minutes. 24-yard field goal ties it at 3. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Camarda's kick will sail down the middle of the field, high and deep and into the end zone, about 3 yards deep. They'll make the fair catch and take the football at the 25-yard line. Alabama will have it first and 10 there on their own 25. 12:35 remaining second quarter, and we are knotted at 3.
Alabama has yet to try to stretch the field vertically. Dogs doing a good job of getting some pressure, but you know at some point Alabama is going to take their shots as well.
They'll put 3 receivers in a bunch formation to the right. Work on the near hash, moving to our left. 1 receiver to the left for Bryce Young, who's in the shotgun with 1 back. That's Robinson in the backfield. He'll stay in and block, and Young will backpedal and throw a deep ball wide open. Williams caught at the Georgia 45. Will tackle him at the 35-yard line. And right on cue, Z, there's the deep ball. And Williams still on the field holding his left knee. Now he rolls over a little bit, but still with a hand on the knee. And Alabama rushing out to render aid to Jameson Williams, who caught the first deep pass of the game for Alabama all the way down to the Georgia 35-yard line. A gain of 40 yards. Injury timeout here in Indianapolis. So we'll be back in a moment. 12:26 remaining in the quarter. 3-3 ball game here in the second. First half presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Over $1.5 billion recovered. Now there's a number, and remember, there's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. Back after this, Bulldog Sports Network. 12:25 on the clock, second quarter here, and the clock starts to move. Bryce Young, the quarterback, in the shotgun with Robinson. Play fake to Robinson. Young throws it out wide to the right, caught by Bolden, who had a few steps on William Poole, who chases him out of bounds on the far side of the field at the Georgia 26-yard line.
Well, Dogs again pressed on the outside, man-to-man, so Alabama just eating us up on these little quick outs after the corner vacates.
You got 9 on that one, so it's second down less than a yard, actually. On the Georgia 26. Young play fake, quick throw of the middle, ball tipped off the hands of the intended target, Ajay Hall, and it flutters to the ground. Georgia didn't have a defender to catch the tipped ball, although Quay Walker was in coverage on Hall, the intended receiver, but the pass is incomplete. And now it's third down and 1 for Alabama on the Georgia 26.
Well, run pass option there by Alabama. Bryce Young got that out of his hands extremely quickly. Receiver wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, he unloads that football, doesn't he? He gets it out in time. Dogs defensive front shifts. And now motion. We got Alabama to jump. Their right tackle, Chris Owens, may have been the guilty party. There's a flag on the field.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Well, we've seen it happen all year long. The late shift by the Georgia defensive front just causes a little bit of a flinch by offensive linemen. It's happened all year long, happens there as well, and pretty opportune timing.
Alabama's injured receiver, Jamison Williams, is walking behind the end zone to our left towards the Alabama locker room with a couple of trainers and medical personnel in tow. He's walking on his own, but going towards the locker room. Third down for Alabama, 3rd down and 6. Ball back on the Georgia 31. Rice with pressure coming on him from the edges will throw it, got rid of the football, dumps it over the middle. It's caught falling down in the vicinity of the Georgia 28. Bolden made the catch, and William Poole right there in coverage to make the stop. Channing Tindall was the guy that was giving pressure on Bryce Young, reaching, trying to get him to the turf from the edge, but he was, again, still able to get rid of the football, even though the pocket was collapsing.
Such a quick release there. That was great pressure by Georgia. Great coverage as well. And a nice stop after the big play.
Here's Reichard for a field goal of about 45.5 yards for Alabama. Kick to our left is away and good. Got it between the uprights. Alabama with the 3rd field goal of the game. They're second, and they lead Georgia 6-3 with 11:12 to go in the second quarter. Timeout here in Indianapolis. Our first half today presented by attorney Ken Nugent. Injured, you know who to call. There's only one call, 1-800-CALL-KEN. Alabama 6, Dogs 3. Back after this, Bulldogs Sports Network. Georgia set to kick it off, Alabama will kick it off, as Reichard has it teed up on the 35, close to the near hash, kicking left. And back deep is Kenny McIntosh for Georgia. No, that's Zamir White, actually. And McIntosh in the end zone on the near side. He'll bring it out. Ball went to him. Matt to the 20, to the 25, to the 30. Breaks a tackle, 40. Still on his feet, 50. There's a flag down behind him. They finally get him out of bounds in Alabama territory as Kenny McIntosh, who was tucked away on the near side in the about 2 yards deep in the end zone, runs it out, but let's check the call.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 20. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
Another big play wiped out by a Georgia penalty, and that's our 5th of the half, as McIntosh was able to break a few tackles and return that ball better than 50 yards into Alabama territory, but it'll go back to the 20-yard line. That's where Georgia will start.
Boy, and I'm trying to take a look at where the holding was. We haven't had a really good angle of it as of yet. Boy, a little nitpicky there. I mean, you allow that all the time.
Looked like Smile Munden had a fistful of jersey up high on the shoulder pad, and that may have been what they called during a double team because they flagged him. Now, right at the snap of the football, flags fly and the whistle blows again.
False start, offense. Everyone except the snapper, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Salt in the wound there from referee Dwayne Haight.
Always tough when the center forgets the snap count.
Yeah, everybody moved except Cedric Van Pran, and he got bumped into and took the ball with him.
Boy, and the Dogs just self-inflicted wounds here. Big play after big play, getting taken back.
Back to the 15 now. 1st and 15 on the 15. Bennett, play fake, will throw, hit as he throws, misses Burton on the far side of Pickens around the 20 on the wide side. And the pass is incomplete. So now it'll be 2nd down and long. Will Anderson almost got to Bennett again, got a hand up on his chest as he was letting that ball loose.
Boy, Dogs fortunate that one didn't slip through Pickens' hands and get picked off, but Anderson, great jump off of the ball there, and Dogs playing from behind the sticks against this Alabama defense, just making it hard on ourselves.
No question, 2nd and 15 on our own 15 in a 6-3 Alabama contest. They lead 6-3. Snap to Bennett from his 7, looks for a deep ball, throws it out wide to the left to McConkey. Catches it at the 14, spins towards the sideline and twisted out of bounds they're going to give him up to the 18-yard line by Jordan Battle. He's the guy that had the pick 6 for Alabama in the SEC championship game. But that pass play up to the 18-yard line for the Bulldogs, and the gain was only 3. It'll be 3rd and 12 now from our 18.
Good coverage there by Alabama. Stetson wanted to take a shot downfield. Decided the better of it, just went to his check down.
McConkey wide to the left for Georgia. Cook's in the backfield. We've got 2 receivers to the near side as we work on the far hash, moving to our right. Short dump pass to Cook in the backfield, catches it behind the line. Cook angling to the near sideline and will be gang tackled at the 21-yard line. Will Anderson leading the charge for Alabama. Just 3 more yards on that pass play, and Georgia got behind the sticks early and never got ahead of them. It's 4th down and 8. We'll have to punt it.
Yeah, designed little screen pass all the way there. Got the big offensive lineman out in front of Cook. Alabama read that well. They were playing zone, just trying to keep the football in front of them. So not the best play call against that defensive look, but definitely one that was safe and just go fight the battle again.
Georgia in punt formation, and Camarda will get it away, and Bolden will backpedal. He drops the football at the 29, goes scrambling to fall on it, and he does so back near the 25-yard line. They may spot it on the 26, and they will. He dropped the punt, but fortunately for him, he didn't have anybody around him at that moment and was able to recover his own mistake at the 26-yard line. 53-yard kick, Jake Camarda. Let's go down to the Cooks Pest Control sidelines. DJ Shockley. DJ.
Fellas, as we know, with both their top receivers out, who do they go to next? We saw Slade Bolden catch a bunch of passes, but number 7, Brooks, is the same guy that caught the touchdown pass against Auburn to put him up on top. So he's another guy that they look for, especially when they want to go deep.
Yeah, they're not short of players, even though their top 2, their best 2 are out now. Here's Young to throw it to the near side. They set up a screen, and it's caught by Brooks right on cue there, DJ, as they throw it out to Brooks on the near side, hit by Channing Tindall at the 31-yard line, and the gain is going to be 5 for Alabama. 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Tide.
Just a bubble screen on the outside. Alabama releases their big offensive line, and they want the receivers to peel back behind their offensive linemen, but Dogs, good job in pursuit as well.
2nd down for Alabama. 3 receivers bunched in a formation to the right for Bryce Young. No one to the left. He's looking in this direction. Now we'll throw a deep ball down the field. Oh, caught at the 44, down the sideline. Alabama, do they get enough to the end zone? No, we'll chase him down at the Georgia 10 or maybe just inside it. That was the tight end, Cameron Latu. He caught the ball in Alabama territory around the 41 or so, was able to get away from the Georgia defender, and then had a lot of room to run in front of the Georgia bench. We finally chase him down all the way down to the 8-yard line.
Perfectly thrown football on the corner route to Latu. Ringo was in covers, tried to undercut that, went for the pick.
It was a 61-yard gain, goal to goal now for Alabama. They'll run it with Robinson to the left side. He runs into the pile at the 5.5 on the near side. And the gain will be about 3.5 for Alabama. It'll be 2nd down and goal from that spot on the field. Crimson Tide leading Georgia 6-3, and now threatening again here deep in the red zone, left end of the field.
Boy, Dogs need to hold Alabama out of the end zone here. Don't want to play from too far behind against this offense.
Ball's on the 6. Return motion by Billingsley back to the left. Young to throw over the middle, caught and then dropped. Latu had it in his hands right on the goal line or just inside it. Couldn't hang on to the football. Nakobe Dean was in coverage. Not sure if he stripped it or if Latu just couldn't hang on, but it's an incomplete pass.
Well, I think that was a busted coverage there by the Dogs. Channing Tindall was supposed to pick up the coverage on that. Never did it. Nakobe Dean saw it and then got in there, able to knock it away.
That was just a drop by Alabama. Plus, they had a guy behind Latu, and maybe Latu wasn't the intended target there. They cut in front of one another. Incomplete pass for Alabama. It's 3rd down and goal from the Georgia 6. Snap back to Young. Going to roll to the right. Slam on the brakes. Oh, we got him! Channing Tindall. He stopped on the 19. Tindall stopped and swallowed him whole back at the 19-yard line with the sack. That pushes them back, and it's 4th and goal at that spot. A huge defensive play. Channing Tindall, the linebacker from Columbia, South Carolina.
Sweet redemption there for Tindall. Blew the last coverage that time. Shot out of a cannon. Just closed on Bryce Young so fast. Bryce, even with his elusiveness, couldn't find a way to get away.
He lost 13 yards. Field goal try. 37-yard try, far hash, kicking it left. Ball reaching. And just inside the right upright. Good for Will Reichard. And Alabama has its 3rd field goal of the game. Well, Z, our defense did just as you'd asked. We kept them out of the end zone. They had it goal to go at the 8, and they couldn't get in. Timeout here in the second quarter, 7:07 remaining. Reichard, short pooch kick, this time far side of the field. Bounces on the 17-yard line and out of bounds. Dogs get a break there. Reichard kicked it out of bounds. We did the right thing. Ran up to field the ball.
Kicking team. The ball be placed at the 35-yard line. 1st down.
We ran up to field it and a little bit short of catching the football at that point. Let it bounce. It was so close to the sideline. That was Zamir White with the heads-up play over there. So you heard our referee, Dwayne Haight, out of the ACC. Dogs have the ball at the 35-yard line. Excellent starting field position for Georgia, trailing 9-3.
Yeah, really for the first time the Dogs not backed up. See if they can get something going. Dogs been hampered on the offensive side of the ball. Self-inflicted wounds, penalties. We've been playing behind the sticks almost all game.
1st and 10 on the 35 for the Dogs. Going to give it to Cook with blockers out to the left. But a crimson shirt got in between the blockers. And we'll wrap up Cook after a 2 or 3 yard gain. Fedarian Mathis, the big defensive end on that side, 6'4" and 312, makes the stop at the 39-yard line. The gain was 4 for James Cook, who had half of our offensive line on that side of the field blocking for him, but Mathis got in there behind him to make the stop.
Still a good 1st down play. Dogs now 2nd and 6, got the entire playbook at their disposal. See if we get our tight ends back involved in this game plan.
Bennett in the shotgun. McIntosh in the backfield now. Snap to Stetson. Throws it open at the 40 and caught by Kenny McIntosh. And up the field he goes. He'll be tackled at the 49-yard line. Right on the tip of the national championship logo, middle of the field. To'o. And made the tackle. And that's a Scana Energy 1st down for the Dogs. 1st and 10 now at the 49. After a 10-yard pickup.
Quick angle route there by Kenny McIntosh out of the backfield away from the formation.
Snap to Bennett, play fake. We blocked the pressure away from Bennett. He rolls to the right and throws, and incomplete on the near sideline. A.D. Mitchell couldn't hang on at the Alabama 38. He was running out of room. Kyrie Jackson in coverage for the Crimson Tide. And the incomplete pass will stop the clock with 5:53 to go in the quarter. And Georgia looking at 2nd and 10 now coming up from our 49.
Tight coverage there by Jackson. A.D. was on a deep comeback route. Nice play action there by the Dogs. Get Stetson out of the pocket. This Alabama defensive front has been in his face a lot, so move his launch point. Stetson just threw that one a little bit early and a little bit wide.
3 receivers in this formation, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. We pick up the blitz. Bennett throws, bobbling, juggling catch, made it Alabama's 45-yard line. And they finally drive him out of bounds into the boundary. That was Brock Bowers. And the tackle made by a trio led by To'o and Kool-Aid McKinstry for Alabama. but the gain was 6 to the Crimson Tide 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go for the Bulldogs.
Just a spot route there by Brock Bowers. That ball got into his body, bobbled a little bit, still able to secure it. Then Alabama just trying to rip it out of his hands.
We've got Broderick Jones in at left tackle, and Big Washington, the tight end, outside of him in this formation. Bennett will throw the opposite way to Mitchell on a quick slant, caught at the 40, and wrapped up at the 33-yard line. Did the ball come out?
It came out after he hit the ground.
But he's down, apparently, and they're going to put it back on the 35-yard line, but enough for the first down for the Dogs at the Alabama 35, a pickup of 10. They'll move the chains. 5:06 as the clock continues to tick here in the second quarter.
Quick slant route there by AD. Clearly he was down on the ground before that football came out.
For Mitchell, that is his first catch of the night, his 38th of the season. 1st and 10 at the Alabama 35 right here. Play fake and a naked rollout to the right. Pressure from behind. Oh, my goodness. Bennett never saw him. They wrap him up high around the shoulder pads and sling him to the turf. Like he was in a rodeo there, the way he got tackled and slung down at the 39. Dallas Turner is the linebacker who made the stop.
Boy, that football was flailing all over the place in the right hand of Stetson Bennett. Stetson was trying to push the football downfield. Great coverage there by Alabama.
Well, we tried to get a chip with Bowers on that left end, and then Jones missed the block, and Bennett never saw what was coming. We lose 4 yards back to the 39. 2nd down at 14 for the Dogs. 9-3, Alabama leads Georgia. Dogs trying to get into scoring position here. Bennett with time, stands in the middle of the pocket, now runs out to the near sideline. Running towards the sideline, he'll dump it into the bench area, incomplete. And the ball will go back to the 39. It'll be 3rd down and 14 there.
Boy, Dogs right now having all kinds of problems with Will Anderson, one of the best defensive players in the entire country. He is all over the place right now.
And this might be good news, Z, as Anderson exits the game. He heads to the sideline for this snap. So we'll see what the Dogs can do without Alabama's top defensive player not on the field. But it's 3rd and long at the 39 of Alabama, Georgia. 3rd down at 14. 3:55 on the clock here in the second quarter. We're down 9-3. Bennett with the snap, backs up to the 48. Has plenty of time, throws it over the middle. It's caught at the 35. And spinning to the 31 is Kieris Jackson. Middle of the field play, and the tackle made by Henry To'o, the linebacker, at the 31-yard line.
Good job up front in protection there by the Dogs. Had to keep it back in the backfield. But again, great coverage by Alabama down the field, forcing Stetson to go to his check down.
Dogs will try a field goal here. That play gets the Dogs into Jack Podlesny's range. It'll be a long one, 49-yard try here from the near hash, kicking right. Snap, hold, kick is away. Let's watch it together. Good. Dogs get 3 more on the board. It's 9-6 now with 3:09 to go in quarter number 2 here in the national championship game. 49-yard kick by Jack Podlesny. The scoring drive took 3 minutes and 58 seconds for the Dogs. It covered 34 yards in 9 plays. And that's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
Well, big answer there by the Dogs to get this back to within a field goal. But we're entering right now into maybe the most critical 6 minutes of this football game. Last 3 minutes of the first half, first 3 minutes of the second half. Alabama historically is so good during this stage of the football game. The Dogs, however, we get the football coming out in the second half. See if we can flip the script in Alabama and get a 2-for-1. Need to stop right now. Need to find a way to get points on the board. Then we'll get the next possession.
We'll go back to that big play by, was that Jackson that caught that 3rd down play to get us in field goal position? That was a big play for the Dogs offense. Here's the kick by Jake Camarda. High spinning end over end kick, going to sail over the receiver's head at the goal line and bounce about halfway into the end zone for the touchback. And Alabama will have 3 minutes and 9 seconds to work with here in the second quarter before halftime, and they lead Georgia 9-6. Stay tuned for the Breda Pest Management halftime report coming up with Neil Williamson. Last season, 53-yard kick to win it. 9-6, Alabama starts from the 25. They hand it to Robinson. He angles to the right. Tackled on the hash, just short of the 30. They'll put it back on the 28. Quay Walker makes the stop for Georgia. The gain is 3. And Alabama will go without a huddle here and pick up the tempo.
Boy, nice scrape there by Walker. Came all the way across the formation. We brought Nakobe Dean on a blitz. He took himself out of that play.
Here's Young now on second down with pressure coming on from Wyatt. He'll throw it down the middle, down the hash mark, and incomplete. And he got torn up by Devontae Wyatt, who laid a lick on the Heisman winner back around the 20-yard line. Pass is incomplete. It'll be third down now, Alabama. 3rd and 7 from their own 28. Georgia fans trying to make some noise here. Late in the quarter, 2:39 to go. We've got all 3 timeouts remaining, and don't forget, we get the ball back. As Z pointed out, we get the ball to start the second half. But some unfinished business here. We got to stop them on 3rd down. Robinson turns to his left and asks Bryce Young to play. Georgia moves early, and there's a flag. Jalen Carter jumped into the neutral zone. I don't know if he made contact or not. There are 2 flags down now.
Offside. Defense. Number 88 making contact with an offensive lineman. 5-yard penalty.
Ugh.
Boy, another one, just penalty after penalty.
Yeah, this is a very disciplined defense under most circumstances, but tonight we've had our issues. 7 penalties here in the quarter, or in the half rather, for 49 yards. And that one makes it 2nd down and 2, or 3rd and 2, excuse me. 3rd and 2 from the Alabama 33 for the Tide. Bryce Young back in the shotgun. Taking his time here. Play clock's under 10. Snap. Young dumps it over the middle on a crossing route, and it's caught by one of the receivers, who breaks a tackle at the 35 and quickly has room to run and into Georgia territory. That was Hall, the freshman receiver from Valrico, Florida, that sprints into Georgia territory, stopped by Trayvon Walker way downfield at the Georgia 43.
Or just a crossing route. Had Ringo had a chance to get him. Nakobe Dean overran it as well, and big 3rd down conversion.
Into Georgia territory at the Bulldog 43 yards. They got 24 on the pass play. It's a 1st down for the Crimson Tide with 2:14 remaining in the half and the clock moving. Robinson going to try to run it up the middle for Alabama. And the Dogs clog all the holes and jam up Robinson after a short gain to the 41-yard line.
Boy, you got him in 3rd and 7. You have an offsides penalty. Then give up a big play on a short crossing route.
Ball's on the Dogs 41 for Alabama. They're moving to our left here late in the half. Young wants to throw deep. He does, and incomplete off the hands on a reaching effort on the near sideline in man-to-man coverage. Hall and Ringo, and the ball just through the hands of Hall. Can't make the grab. He really had to go up high to try to bring it in and keep his feet in bounds, but he did not.
Yeah, even if he would have made that catch, he was out of bounds. Really good coverage there by Ringo. Bryce Young tried to go back shoulder.
Dogs now, or Alabama rather, 3rd down and 8 on the Georgia 41-yard line. Alabama 3 of 8 on 3rd downs here in the first half. Minute 45 to go. 9-6. Alabama leads Georgia. Dogs run up on a fake blitz by Nakobe Dean, and now a timeout is called.
Timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Dogs will use a time. And the clock at 1:45 to go in the second quarter here in the national championship game. That'll give us an opportunity to recap the effort thus far. It's brought to you by Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia, and Ag South Farm Credit, loans for land and farm. Let's look at the total numbers of the half. Alabama with 216 yards of offense to Georgia's 138. The Tide passing for 206. The Dogs have thrown for 127. Neither team has been able to establish the running game. Alabama with only 10 yards rushing, and Georgia with just 11. The big number that we keep looking at here is the number of penalties the Dogs have had in the first half. 7 penalties for 49 yards. Young is 15 of 25 for Alabama. Bennett is 11 for 17 for Georgia. And Alabama with a 3rd down play coming up here. 3rd down and 8 on the Georgia 41 with just 1:45 remaining. They lead 9 6. Battle of field goals thus far. Young directing traffic back in the shotgun. Clapping his hands. Here's the snap. Drops back on the 50. Throws it over the middle. Reaching effort between the hash marks is incomplete. Chris Smith in coverage. And they deny Bolden the catch. It's an incomplete pass and no flag on the play around the 25-yard line. So it's 4th down now. 4th and 8 for Alabama. As we look at a replay, Bolden had it in his hands when he hit the turf. Ball came out. He caught it off the bounce, but that's an incompletion all the way. And Alabama will have to punt it here late in the second quarter. 100 seconds remain.
Well, great ball placement there by Bryce Young. Christopher Smith in coverage was draped all over the Alabama receiver.
Burnup will kick it away. Fair catch called for by Jackson as he slides to his right towards the sideline. Waves the arm in the air, makes the catch at the 10. Dogs have 90 yards to go for the end zone after a 31-yard pooch kick by Alabama. 1:33 to go. We're on the 10. We trail by 3. We could tie it with a field goal, take the lead if we get into the end zone before the half.
Well, Alabama now a little game of cat and mouse. They've got all 3 of their timeouts. Dogs really need to get a first down or else Alabama can get this football back in pretty good field position.
Jones stays in the game at left tackle for the Dogs. We'll try to get word on if anything has happened to Salyer at intermission. Bennett reaches and stretches and hands it off to Zamir White, who runs straight ahead at right guard and right tackle and plows forward to about the 14-yard line. He got 4. A host of Crimson defenders made the stop for Alabama, led by 2 of their big linemen, Dale and Mathis.
Well, Alabama not using any of their timeouts here. Looks like they're content to let this go into the half.
Yeah, we're not stopping the clock either with any urgency. We got a minute to go right now. 2nd and 6 for the Dogs on our own 14-yard line. Coming out of the end zone to our left. Van Pran up over the football. Snap back to Bennett in the shotgun. Going to hand it to Zamir. Bounces off one man, angling left, and then hit by To'o and Branch on the left side as he crossed the 15, maybe the 16. Possibly got a couple. Clock continues to move now as we get close to 30 seconds to go. And Alabama's going to go into the locker room apparently with all the timeouts still in tow, and Georgia doesn't look like they're in any hurry either.
Georgia's going to have to snap it.
Now Alabama will call a time with 22 seconds to go. 3rd down and 5 coming up PM. So 22 seconds to go. It's 3rd down and 5 for Georgia from our own 15-yard line. Alabama called a time to stop the clock. They lead 9-6. Bennett back in the shotgun. Zamir White to his right. Now Stetson steps up to talk to his offensive line, the right side of it. And snap it. A bullet back to him. Zamir angles to the left, across the 20. Gets the first down as he dives ahead to about the 24-yard line. To'o and Kool-Aid McKinstry make the stop. But the Dogs pick up the first down. Clock stops momentarily to reset the sticks. Now it's moving. Just 10 seconds remaining. That'll probably be the last snap of the half, would be my guess. Yep, it will be.
Well, the Dogs really shot ourselves in the foot through much of that first half. Just far too many penalties on the offensive side of the ball. In total as a team, 7 penalties, 49 yards. One big one on a kickoff return that brought us back, and ultimately had to play from behind the sticks on the offensive side of the ball, and against elite defenses, that's just tough to do.
Yeah, the penalty number was certainly excessive for Georgia. 7 in the first half. Our large number for the year is 10, and that came way back against Clemson. Here's the kick by Alabama to get the second half underway. It'll go to McIntosh about 4.5 yards deep in the end zone. He'll make the catch and take a knee. And off we go from the 25-yard line for the Georgia offense. Bulldogs football brought to you in part by your Atlanta area BMW centers, providing legendary performance, exceptional offers, and a premium ownership experience. At BMW, they only make one thing, the ultimate driving machine. Visit BMWATL.com today, proud sponsor of Georgia Athletics.
And Jamari Sawyer back into the football game at his left tackle position. That's good news for the Dogs.
Yeah, he was out for much of the second quarter. Roderick Jones replacing him. Now here is Zamir White running hard over the line of scrimmage, past the 30, angles to his left and hit it the 35.5. Picks up a first down on the first carry of the second half. Helms and McKinstry on the stop, but it's an 11-yard gain and a Scana Energy first down for the Bulldogs. And Jones is in there at left tackle, and McClendon is at right tackle. We've got Salyer at right guard, so Erickson is the one that's out. And Schaefer's at left guard, and then Van Pran is the center. Bennett talking to his offensive line now, and Zamir White steps in from behind to listen in as well. 1st and 10 Dogs at the 36. Snap to Stetson. Hand off Zamir. They tackle his legs. He puts his hand on the turf at the 35 to keep his balance. He's up across the 50 and into Alabama territory at the 45-yard line. Broke a tackle from the free safety, Helms, and then Battle, the other safety, made the stop in Alabama territory at the 45-yard line. And that's a 19-yard gain and a Scana Energy first down for Zamir White. 1st and 10 Georgia at the Alabama 45.
Second run in a row right at Will Anderson. Roderick Jones, a good job twice in a row. That time just pushed him into the line of scrimmage.
3 tight ends. We go under center. Flea flicker back to Bennett. He's going to go deep down the near sideline. Nobody there. Ball lands incomplete at the 15. Pickens is walking back the other direction. He was the only guy on that side of the field, and maybe some miscommunication there because George never made it down the field that far where the ball landed incomplete. And there's a flag in the Georgia backfield.
Boy, they're going to call that intentional grounding.
Offense, number 13. He relinquished the football. He is not allowed to illegally ground the football. Lost it down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
That is a terrible call right there. If a receiver breaks off a route and there's miscommunication, how can you call that intentional grounding? There was miscommunication. Pickens stopped his route. Stetson Bennett threw it downfield, and now all the momentum stopped on this one again, second and forever.
So it's a loss of down and a penalty back to the Georgia 46. It's second down and very long for the Dogs. Second down and 19. Bennett to throw, right flat to Cook. Caught at the 49, crosses midfield into Alabama territory and hit down at the 43 on the far sideline. Henry To'o, the linebacker, and Jackson, the cornerback, make the tackle on Cook. We made up a little bit of the yardage, Z. It's going to be third down and about 8 to go from the Alabama 43.
Yeah, at least manageable. Good, smart decision there by Stetson Bennett out of the backfield. James Cook just on a little out route.
Picked up 11. It'll be third down and 7 for the Bulldogs. Ball on the Alabama 43, far hash, moving to our left from this vantage point. Cook in the backfield with Bennett. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Alabama's defense creeps up into the gap. Now they back up. Bennett rolls to his right, try to elude the rush, and just heaves it into the Alabama bench. Incomplete.
Alabama only brought 4, but a nice little stunt that freed up an oncoming rusher there, and Stetson, nothing he could do there but get that one out of his hand. I go back to that intentional grounding.
Yep.
It is. I don't know how you can make that determination if you're a ref on the field. They came back and talked about it. You saw the sideline judge pointing at George Pickens saying there was a receiver, and then they still go drop it.
Fourth down, we'll have to punt. Jake Camarda will try to pooch it in deep, and he does so. Bolden back inside the 10 to make the fair catch around the 7 or the 8-yard line. 36-yard poocher by Jake Camarda, who's kicked it well for the Dogs. Dogs with 8 penalties now, and Z, you were a little hot after that last one.
Yeah, not happy with it at all. There's no way a receiver runs the wrong route, the quarterback throws it to where he's supposed to be. There's no way you drop that flag.
They called intentional grounding on the play against Georgia. Here's a handoff for Alabama as they run it with Robinson, angles to the left and pushes forward up close to the 10-yard line. Stop made by Devontae Wyatt and Nolan Smith for the Bulldogs defense. The gain was 3. They'll call it to the 10, second down and 7.
Worst starting field position for the Crimson Tide today, and Dawgs important here coming out of the locker room at halftime. Get a stop, keep control of field position, see if you can get a couple of quick points.
We bring 4. Young back on his 3 to launch this pass, and it's intercepted on the overthrow. Christopher Smith catches it on the pick at the Alabama 43 as he falls to the turf. Georgia will have the ball going the other way at the Alabama 43.
Boy, Bryce Young, for one of the few times today, had all kinds of time, just overshoots his receiver by about 5 yards. Christopher Smith there like a center fielder to haul it in.
Jaleel Billingsley, the tight end from Chicago, was the deep target there for Bryce Young, who just uncorked one from inside his 5 and heaved it up for grabs. And as Z pointed out, Christopher Smith, the center fielder there on the near sideline, was the guy that ran under it and intercepted the football. Dogs 1st and 10 at the Alabama 43-yard line. First turnover of the ball game. McIntosh runs it out of the backfield, right flat, pass in that direction towards Brock Bowers, is tipped at the line of scrimmage and almost intercepted off the deflection. Will Anderson with the batted ball. Ball, fortunately for Georgia, lands on the turf incomplete.
Boy, and Dawgs had something there too. We faked a little screen pass to our running back, had Brock Bowers coming back underneath on a slip screen. That one gets completed. He's running for days.
Mathis goes out of the ball game. No, that is Young, for Alabama. He heads to the sideline. Second down and 10, Dogs at the Alabama 43, trying to do something after the interception. Bennett in the shotgun. McIntosh to his left in the backfield. 2 receivers wide to the right. Bennett looks that way first, then comes back to the left and dumps it off to Kenny McIntosh. He breaks one tackle, he breaks another. And then he's twisted around in the same spot long enough for a third Alabama defender to get to him right around the Tide 40. The gain is only 3. He broke McKinstry's tackle and then Harris's tackle, and it was Turner that finally got McIntosh to the turf. 3-yard gain will make it 3rd down and 7 for the Dogs from the Alabama 40.
Now, Stetson Bennett was under all kinds of duress there. Did a good job just getting that football out of his hands to McIntosh on the check down. A nice effort there by McIntosh to fight forward for a couple of yards.
Mitchell and McConkey out wide to the right. We moved Bowers in motion, set him up as a wing to the right. Bennett going to roll in that direction from the start, and he slings it into the sideline, incomplete. A.D. Mitchell was the guy running the route right on the Alabama sideline, but Bennett missed everything as he threw it into the bench. Incomplete will bring up 4th down. Dogs can do nothing with the interception.
Boy, and Dogs right now just having a hard time handling Will Anderson. We moved Stetson out of the pocket purposely there, away from Anderson. Tried to chip Anderson with a running back. He ran right past our guys and was still in hot pursuit.
We'll punt it from the 40. Camarda, high hanger, backspin on it, flipping end over end, back towards the line of scrimmage. Going to check up at the 5, bounce. Oh, we took a chance there. We let it roll. We had 4 guys down there to field it, and it was Bowers that finally covered it up at the 2-yard line. We've kicked him into a hole again. Jake Camarda and Jack Podlesny might be our MVPs of this game so far, unless you go with somebody on defense. But a long way to go. 11:03 remaining, 3rd quarter. It's Alabama 9 and Georgia 6. Dogs will run Nolan Smith on late, although a few seconds left in the timeout. William Poole comes out for the Bulldogs. So Alabama's quarterback, Bryce Young, and their running back, Robinson, will line up in this formation standing in the end zone. Tied on their own 2-yard line. 4 down linemen for the Dogs. Fake the jet sweep to the left and hand it off straight ahead to Robinson. He's fighting and driving and pushing for yards. He may have gotten to the 3 or 4, but not a whole lot there as the Dogs crowded up between the tackles.
Boy, give Robinson some credit right there. He was stopped. We had him look dead for rights at the 1-yard line. He's able just to push and fight forward, only for a half-a-yard pickup, but that could have been right on the goal line.
2nd and 9 for Alabama on the 3. Middle of the field between the hash marks. My reference there. Here's Robinson, runs over the line of scrimmage, hops over a tackler, still on his feet as he is forced into the Georgia sideline, stiff-arming men as he goes, and finally pushed out of bounds around the 19 or the 20-yard line on this near sideline. A heck of a run by Brian Robinson as Quay Walker finally got him out of bounds. That's their longest run of the contest, 16 yards for Robinson.
Boy, Alabama was able to get up to our second level. Great seal block on our linebackers. Chris Smith came down with contain, did exactly what he wanted to do, forced Robinson into the middle, but there was no linebacker there to close it.
Young going to hand it off to Robinson, who swings around the left edge now, cuts up field, tackled by Christopher Smith as he circled around the left tackle and back between the hash marks down at the 27-yard line. And that's 8 more as the Dogs are giving up yardage on the ground now, which we didn't do in the first half. Alabama looking at 2nd down and 8, or 2nd down and 2 after an 8-yard gain.
Well, already a successful drive here for Alabama. A couple of first downs, flip field position again. Dogs had an opportunity.
Young in the shotgun. They run the tight end, Latu in motion left. Play fake, they'll throw it out to the receiver out on the left side, and we played it pretty well with Channing Tindall. The pass was made down the line of scrimmage, and it was caught by Holden, and Tindall over there quickly to make the stop, but they only needed 2 yards for a first down, and they got 3 up to the 30, so they pick up the 1st and 10, move the sticks, and Alabama off their own 2-yard line and up to the 30 with 8:55 on the clock here in quarter number 3. Clock is moving. Alabama with a 9-6 lead on Georgia. 1st and 10 from the 30. Snap it to Young. He'll throw it to the near side, flat-footed, and he wings it out to Holden on the near side and tackled going into the sideline. Christopher Smith chased him down at the 32-yard line. The gain is only 2.
That was a run-pass option there. Bryce Young liked what he saw with the matchup on the outside, but the speed of the Dogs able to close in on that one and keep it to a minimal gain.
2nd down 8 for Alabama on their own 32-yard line. They go with an empty set this time. Young in the shotgun, 3 receivers. Well, he had 2 to each side, it looked like. Maybe a tight end in the formation as well. They throw it quickly out to the near side to Brooks. And Brooks will be brought down by the linebacker Nolan Smith on the near side at the 37. They move it back the length of the football. And he got about 5 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 3 for Alabama. They're up to the line quickly.
Good recognition there by Nolan Smith on the screen. Saw the lineman release, reversed his course, able to get in on the tackle.
Tied 3rd and 3 on their own 37. They lead by 3 here in the 3rd quarter. Threes are wild. Young, shotgun snap. He takes it, he drops back, he looks, he has time. He dumps it off to the back on the near side, caught by Sanders. And he's hit at the 38, fights for yardage up to the 40. And I think he just barely got the first down. He needed to get to the 40. Quay Walker, if he makes the initial tackle, he doesn't get it. But he fought for extra yards and was able to kind of backpedal his way to the 40-yard line and move the sticks.
Boy, great effort there by Sanders. Quay Walker in position. Lost his footing just a little bit, which impacted the initial hit.
Alabama just moving about 3 yards at a chunk. And it's not a big chunk. Play fake to the right, throw it back to the left. We read that one well. They throw it to Holden, and he's sandwiched by 2 Georgia defenders at the 41. Darian Kendrick and Christopher Smith both converged to make the hit on Holden on the far side. The gain is 2 to the 42-yard line for Alabama.
A lot of east and west right now from Alabama. About time they go east and west, and then there's a shot downfield.
Snap to Young. They go quickly. Helmet off for one of the Alabama players. Young throws it to the left side. It's caught around the 47. And Lewis Seen latches on quickly for the Georgia defense, and they ride each other out of bounds at the 48. That was Robinson, the running back. And their right guard is a guy that lost his hat. He's got to go out of the game now.
Boy, Lewis Seen.
Ekior, excuse me.
No, sorry about that, Scott. Lewis Seen hit Robinson up high. You just see how strong Robinson is right there, just pushing Lewis Seen around a little bit.
3rd down and 2 for the Tide at their own 48. 10th play of the possession for Alabama. They started at their own 2, inching their way to midfield. Throw it out quickly to Robinson. He's open in the flat, and he's got running room. He's into Georgia territory now. inside the 40, tackled by Keely Ringo around the legs at the 39-yard line. Let's see where they spot it. Maybe back on the 40. And that's a gain of 12 on a simple little route to the running back. Z was wide open on the right side.
Yeah, Dogs brought pressure. He's the free release and the side adjust off of it. Good recognition there by Bryce Young.
1st and 10, Alabama. They keep picking it up on 3rd down. They hand it off to Brian Robinson. He's high-stepping down inside the hash marks, close to the 35, maybe the 34-yard line. Tyndall and Jalen Carter on the stop for the Georgia defense. And he got 6 to the 34-yard line, and Georgia's got a player sitting on the ground slow to get up, and that's Jalen Carter. And immediately three staffers run out to tend to him from Georgia's medical and training staff. And they'll take a TV timeout. Clock stopped with 5:25 to go in the 3rd quarter. Alabama 9, Georgia 6. Our second half is brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Radio booth. Alabama has had the ball for almost 6 minutes on this possession. They moved from their 2 to the Georgia 34. 2nd down and 4 coming up for Alabama. Moving to our right as we watch it here in the 3rd quarter. They lead Georgia 9-6. Handoff Robinson. He angles right at tackle and then pushes forward to the 31-yard line. Trayvon Walker, the lineman from Thomaston, Georgia, makes the initial hit at the 31. The gain was 3. It's 3rd and a yard.
Boy, this entire drive, Bama's been in 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2 situations.
Yeah, and they're mopping up, too. They've made them all.
They are.
5 of 11 on 3rd down tonight. And 3rd and 1 here. This is their third down conversion opportunity of this possession. They run Brooks in motion across the formation left and hand it off to Robinson. And he dragged Devontae Wyatt across the line of scrimmage and got the 1st down at the 28 and a half. Wyatt was hanging on and being dragged about 1.5 yards by the powerful running back, Brian Robinson for Alabama. 1st and 10 at the 29. The gain was 2.
Boy, Dogs need to hunker down right now and stop this drive.
Again, Robinson, nonstop. This time hit at the 31 around the knees by Nolan Smith, and he tumbles forward, falls to the 30. He's going to lose 1 yard, or a portion of one anyway, back to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and about 11 now for Alabama. Ball's on the near hash, and Alabama moving to our right. They're on the Georgia 30 with a 3-point lead here late in the 3rd quarter, less than 3:50 remaining.
Everything Alabama's done on this drive is just to the sidelines, getting it out of Bryce Young's hands quick. There's been nothing vertical.
4 down linemen for the Dogs. Empty backfield for Young. He's got 3 to the left and 2 to the right. He's got time to throw, and he does. He launches one, and a back shoulder throw to Brooks inside the 10 on the near sideline is incomplete. He was trying to catch it low below his waist and unable to hang on. Lewis Seen had good tight coverage on the sideline for Georgia. It'll be 3rd down and long now for Alabama. 3rd and 11. We'll see how they are with these type of conversions from the Georgia 30.
Boy, great coverage right there by Seen. Dogs again staying aggressive, went man-to-man, brought pressure.
6 of 12 on 3rd down tries. They may have gotten away with a hold on that last play. Their right guard may have been holding, but there wasn't a flag on it. 3rd down 11. Here comes pressure up the gaps from Georgia. Alabama picks it up all right. They throw a deep ball, and it's in and out of the hands at the 9. Ajay Hall, the freshman, running from left to right towards the sideline. Looked like it hit him in the hands around the 9 and plopped right on the turf. Christopher Smith was covering. Yeah, he just dropped it right off his hands. My goodness.
Dogs catch a break right there. You can't throw that football any better, and Bryce Young did it with pressure right in his face. I'm not sure who it was that got to him. Channing Tyndall.
Tyndall playing very well for Georgia tonight, leading tackler on the team thus far. They'll go reaching for another field goal, this time from 48 yards near hash to the right. It's blocked. The field goal is blocked. The ball is bouncing and covered up by Georgia at the 20. The Dogs block the kick. They blocked the 48-yard try. It's Georgia's football going the other way.
Boy, the momentum plays right now, going for the Dogs. Interception. We get the block field goal. Now we've got to get something going on the offensive side.
Jalen Carter got that big left arm up in the air and blocked it while he was being blocked himself. He got the deflection. The Dogs take over. They stop Alabama's long, methodical drive. 17 plays by Alabama. 68 yards down to their kicking point, and they get nothing. Georgia will have the ball. 1st and 10 at the 20. Down 3, 9-6 our score with 3:18 remaining in the third quarter. All right, Red Hat's going to get off the field with his walking clock, and we're ready to go. 1st and 10 at the 20. We got Bowers and Fitzpatrick, the tight ends, Mitchell and Burton, the receivers, and Cook in the backfield with Bennett, who's in the shotgun. 1st and 10 at the 20 for the Dogs. Snap back to Bennett. Hand off to Cook. Angles right, cuts back. Middle of the field, 25. Breaks free at the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Got to beat 2 or 3 guys. Can he do it down to the 20, 15, 14, 13? Dragged down from behind. James Cook all the way down into the Alabama red zone with a huge run and no flags.
Boy, huge block right there by Broderick Jones as well. Getting out in front of it. It was just a counter tray. We pulled 2 big offensive linemen. It was Schaefer and Jones are the guys that pulled and just sealed it wide open for James Cook.
77 yards on the Cook run, a big Scana Energy first down. He broke the tackle of Kool-Aid, and Battle finally swiped him down, chasing him down to save a touchdown at the Alabama 13. Dogs are in the Massey Ferguson red zone. 1st and 10, down by 3, late third quarter. They run a man in motion to the right. Bennett's going to keep it and run. Sheds a tackler at the 14. They hit him at the 10 and pile on. Did the ball come out there, or is that just bodies tumbling behind the tackle?
Ball came out, but I think Stetson was already on the ground when they ripped it out, but 2 Dogs sitting there ready to make the play anyway.
Stetson's run gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He picked up 4, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6. It's a 67-yard run by Cook, not 77, my mistake. Dogs with a 2nd down coming up, trailing by 3. Less than 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Bennett under center, fakes the pass, turns around, hands it off to Big Mac. Big hole, right tackle, and McIntosh hits it. They may have grabbed his face mask. Flags fly everywhere as Kenny McIntosh tackled at the 3.
Boy, nifty little play design there. You fake the bubble screen outside, then just an inside trap to Kenny McIntosh, and now the Georgia offensive line starting to
Personal
take this
foul,
thing over a little
face
bit.
mask, defense, number 48. Half the distance to the goal from the end of the run. 1st down.
It's the biggest ovation you'll hear for a 1.5-yard penalty.
Boy, every
on the 1.5. Goal to go right there, 1st down at the 1.5.
Every yard is just absolutely critical right now.
We got the jumbo package on the field, folks. Jordan Davis, Darnell Washington, Jalen Carter, all in the ball game. Goal to go for the Dogs. Break the huddle quickly. I formation. Bennett going to hand it off to Zamir. He drives in behind those big, massive bodies. Touchdown, Georgia. The Dogs take the lead.
Boy, huge surge by all those big bodies. And I think Stetson Bennett bobbled that snap. Fortunate to get it and turn around and somehow got it to Zeus.
Well, that's going to light them up. We block a field goal on the other end and then take it down the other way and punch it in the end zone. First team to do that tonight. Dogs lead it 12-9. Here's the extra point try by Jack Podlesny. For a 4-point lead. We haven't had one of those tonight. The kick is up and good. Jack Pod's kick makes it 13-9 with 1:20 to go in the third quarter. A 1-yard touchdown run by Zamir White caps a 4-play, 80-yard drive, thanks in part to a 67-yard jaunt by James Cook to set up the scoring play. Took 1:58 on the clock to do it for the Dogs to take the lead. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered.
Boy, just a massive block there on that touchdown run by Jalen Carter. The big O, Darnell Washington, a big block as well, and then a good hard run by Zeus. My heart jumped up into my throat for a second there when I saw the bobble of the snap, though. Nothing's easy.
Zamir White with his 11th rushing touchdown of the season for Georgia. But again, James Cook with that long run set it up. And now we'll kick it off with a 4-point lead. But you know this is not over. We've had a lead on these guys plenty of times. Minute 20 to go in the third, and then we've got 15 more to go after that. Here's the kick from Jake Camarda. Going to sail deep into the back of the end zone and bounce over the end line for the touchback. Alabama 1st and 10 on the 25. Young back in the shotgun. They trail now. We'll see how their offense reacts. Throw it out to the left side. We hit at the 30 as the pass is caught by Holden at the 31. Keely Ringo got a chest full of helmet, I think, when he tried to make the tackle. And then he kind of fell away from the play, and Holden was knocked off balance, or else he had some running room, and he fell down at the 31.
Yeah, just a quick hitch on the outside. Ringo playing a little bit off. Now he's up and pressed. Dogs showing cover 2.
That was a 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4 for the Tide on their own 31-yard line. Robinson in the backfield with Young. He'll give him the football. Robinson will angle to the left at left tackle and go to the turf at the 32 or 3. Nolan Smith hanging on to the big running back and dragging him down at the 32-yard line, a 1-yard pickup. And Alabama's got a 3rd down coming up here with 26 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter.
Bama again in 3rd and short. Boy, how great would it be here for the Dogs to get a stop and get them off the field.
6 of 13 on 3rd downs. They're looking at 3rd down and about 3 here from their own 32. Snap back to Young. He's backpedaling. Pressure coming on in the pocket. He fires, gets the ball off, and it's caught at the Georgia 41. Holden coming back to the football on the near sideline. Made the grab. Tackled by Ringo right in front of our bench. But up to the 41-yard line, And that's the last play of the quarter. But Alabama picks up a 1st down, and somebody's got a player injured.
Yeah, we do. I think it's Devontae Wyatt is back on the 21 or 22-yard line. He's got a couple of trainers behind him.
They're taking a look at him, and we'll go into the timeout. Georgia with a lead 13-9 on Alabama as we go to the 4th quarter. Our second half tonight brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit oneffc.com to learn more. Back in a moment, Bulldog Sports Network. Alabama 1st and 10 to start the 4th quarter on their own 42. They'll move to our left here in the final 15 minutes of the season. Split backfield. They snap it back to Young. He dumps it off over the line, caught at the 45. And that is Slade Bolden. We hit him at the 49 with Robert Beal, the linebacker, a senior from Duluth. Up to the 49, he got 7 yards.
Another angle route by Bolden out of the backfield. Just quick passing game. Get the ball out of his hands.
Here's Robinson with a handoff. Another lineman loses his helmet. Now a flag down as Robinson gets hit crossing the 50 at the Georgia 48.
Foul. Illegal hands to the face defense. Jeez. Number 33, 15-yard penalty will be enforced from the end of the run. 1st down. The players whose helmet came off may remain in the game.
It was a right tackle, Chris Owens, who had his helmet knocked off. I don't know if it was ripped off. We'll look at a replay and see what that looks like. But they called the flag on Beal. And another 15-yard penalty. That's our 9th penalty of the game. And still, we only had 2 in this half, but they're certainly untimely.
Boy, even that one, I know his helmet came off, but it wasn't like his hand was up there in it. It was just in the middle of a hand fight.
Ball on the Georgia 33 for Alabama. 1st and 10. Deep ball, Young going towards the end zone. Caught at the 7 and out of bounds is Hall. Christopher Smith was the defensive back in coverage for Georgia, and Hall's out of bounds at the 5. 28 yards on the pass play.
Dogs came with pressure, couldn't get there. We were man-to-man across the board and get a receiver on our free safety, strong safety, not what you want.
Georgia or Alabama ready to go. Young will throw it into the end zone, under the goal post, and incomplete. Ringo breaks it up away from Hall, the intended receiver. Take a look at a replay. It may have hit him in the hands, some portion of his hands, and Ringo had a hand up in there as well to kind of swipe it down. Incomplete from the 5. It'll be 2nd and goal for Alabama from that spot.
Yeah, great job there by Ringo. Right on the hip of the Alabama receiver, able to punch his hand up through the intended receiver's hands and knock that football away.
Georgia hanging on to a 4-point lead right now, but Alabama threatening. 13-9 is our score. Crimson Tide looks confused. Play clock down to 4. Bryce Young now wants to snap it. They snap it right on the 0 as the clock ticks down. Hand it off to Robinson. He runs on an angle to the left, tries to get outside the numbers, and he does that, but tackled down around the 3 by Lewis Seen and Quay Walker.
Boy, you don't see that very often, the confusion on Alabama's front. Unsure about what they wanted to go do, barely get that snap off, and the Dogs snuff it out.
They got 2 yards. Seen hit Robinson on the 5, but again, he's so powerful, he was able to drive for 2 more yards. 3rd and goal from the 3 for Alabama. Left into the field here from our vantage point. Bolden in motion slowly to the right. Now he stops and joins a group formation at the end of the line of scrimmage. Snap back to Young. Looks to the right, looks. Pressure coming on, throws it into the end zone. Missed his target just barely. Trayshawn Holden was running a crossing route on the back line of the end zone from left to right, and the ball lands about 2 yards in front of him. Skips through the end zone, incomplete. And here comes the Alabama field goal unit once again.
Boy, credit the pressure right there from the Dogs. We brought 2 linebackers right through the B gap. It was Quay Walker that made contact with Bryce Young and forced that throw to get out of his hands sooner than he wanted to.
Will Reichert on to try for his 5th field goal try of the game. He's made 3, had 1 blocked. This one from 21 yards near hash, kicking to the left. The kick is away, and it's right through the uprights. Good. So Alabama closes the gap. It's a 1-point game, 12:59 remaining in the national championship here in Indianapolis. Georgia 13, Alabama 12. Our second half brought to you tonight by First Franklin Financial. Alabama's junior kicker from Hoover, Alabama, Will Reichert, prepared to kick it away. Just connected on his 4th field goal of the ball game. And here's his kick to our left. A little bit lower, looked like a sidewinder from way up high as we are, and that one will spin into the end zone in the air. And Kenny Mack will take a touchback. Dogs ball at the 25 when they snap it again. So Alabama goes 72 yards in 10 plays in 3 minutes and 21 seconds. And they connect on a 21-yard Reichert field goal. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Bama's been in the red zone 3 times tonight. No touchdowns, 3 field goals. You got to like that from our defense.
Absolutely. Defense continues just to play lights out against a dynamic Alabama offense.
From the 25, we'll hand it off. Straight up the gut is Zeus. And Zamir working on the far hash, moving north and south. Hit at the 30-yard line, or just short of it. He got about 4 3/4 yards on that run. And it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Well, Dogs,
or a long 5, actually, for Georgia.
Sorry, Scott. Dogs right now starting to find a little bit of room here in the running game. First half and much of the 3rd quarter, nothing at all. Now, starting to see a few holes.
To'o made the tackle. Here's Cook. And they run a reverse, and they pitch it back to McConkey, and Alabama was all over it. That play was sloppy from the outset as Stetson Bennett was almost being hit as he was releasing the football to Cook, and then Cook going left pitched it back to McConkey coming this way, and they hit Ladd behind the line of scrimmage and dropped him for about a 3-yard loss back at the 27.
Will Anderson's get off there was unbelievable. Almost disrupted the initial handoff, like you said, Scott, and then there was penetration by a couple of other Alabama defenders too. There's 0 that could be done.
Now it's 3rd and 8 for Georgia. 11:45 to go in the game. Georgia leads by 1, 13-12. Snap back to Bennett, being chased out of the pocket, rolling to the near side. They'll sackle him as he throws, and the ball out of his hands going to bounce at the 15-yard line and go out of bounds. Now, is that going to be another intentional grounding from this ACC crew?
Well, I tell you, if they call intentional grounding on that one and they didn't on Bryce
They're talking
Young's,
about it. Look at them.
They are.
The ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense.
Wow.
1st down, Alabama.
Holy smokes. Well, from up here, clearly his arm was in motion. We'll take a look at it and see if the ball slips out of his hands. I mean, it wasn't hit by the Alabama defender. It was not hit by Christian Harris, who made the tackle. We're looking at the replay again. How was that a fumble?
His arm was clearly going
rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. If it is determined that it is a forward pass, there is no receiver in the area, and we will have a foul for intentional grounding.
Tell you.
The previous play is under further review.
These guys are unbelievable. Wow. All right. The play is under review, brought to you by Pruitt Health, where family makes us stronger, proud partner of the Georgia Bulldogs. Bennett was rolling to his right out of the pocket. Harris was making the tackle, and Stetson was throwing the football to the near sideline. There was no one in the vicinity. That is correct. It did not appear to be a fumble. That's how this ACC crew is ruling it on the field. It was clearly a forward pass, but the ball was coming loose in his hands as we look at the replay. When he was throwing it, he had a forward arm motion, and the ball went forward. I don't know how far it went yardage-wise. It went forward about 5 or 6 yards from around the 7 or 8 to near the 15 where it landed incomplete.
Well, even if they rule that a fumble, I'd be shocked if they ruled it a fumble. And then how they call that intentional grounding when you're getting hit and you're throwing the football.
He's outside of the tackle box.
Absolutely. Well, they're going to say it didn't get to the line of scrimmage.
Oh, gotcha.
But you're still getting hit, and that's impacting the throw. I mean, that happens a ton.
So they're reviewing the play on the far side of the field. On the Alabama sideline is where the video monitor is, and referee Dwayne Haight, who's got the headphones on, and the video review monitor, or the review is going on in the booth, I would imagine. I'm not sure of another location, some centralized location like the SEC does in Birmingham. Maybe they're doing that tonight. It's 2 SEC teams battling for the national title. So a key moment here in the ball game. In the fourth quarter, with Georgia leading by a point, they have ruled a fumble in favor of Alabama, but they're looking at the play on review. And either way, the referee has already told us, even if it's not a fumble, it's going to be grounding on Georgia, so they've got a penalty coming. Either they are penalized and it's a loss of down, or they're going to lose the football altogether.
Boy, just either way, unless they go back and they get it right from the booth, that it's neither one of these things.
I don't believe that's going to be one of the options. Unfortunately, I mean, there was already a questionable grounding call against Georgia earlier in the ball game. They're still taking a look at it, and a long time. Maybe there's a lot of moving parts to this particular play.
Well, they're going to have to see where the clock was, if it was indeed ruled an incomplete pass, and then obviously they've got to assess the penalty as well. But just horrendous. I mean, some of the knick-knack calls that they've had, the big return that we had on the where we had a holding penalty, that was questionable.
I'm going to guess that they're looking at placement of the football. I don't think it's going to be a fumble for Alabama. Here's the announcement.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Alabama football at the 16-yard line.
Wow.
That is.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
It's one of the worst calls I think I have ever seen.
Holy smokes.
Unbelievable. Fans are now throwing debris onto the field. That needs to stop immediately.
It was coming from the corner to our left, in behind the end zone. Now there's a bunch of security personnel over there doing a lot of finger pointing and picking up bottles and trash and putting it up against the wall. All right, well, you got to overcome a lot of things to win a national championship, don't you?
You do.
Alabama's got the ball, 1st and 10 on the Georgia 16-yard line now. That was unexpected. It's a 1-point lead for the Dogs with 11:35 to go in the game. Alabama will run it with Robinson. Defense is back out there. Robinson runs to the left and cuts up at the 15 and tackled by Wyatt and Smith for Georgia. Dragged down at about the 12 and a half. So Robinson's gain was close to 4, I guess that's what they'll give him. It's 2nd down and 6 at the 12-yard line. Questionable fumble reviewed and upheld because they said the play stands. Not confirmed. Bryce Young will throw it into the end zone, front left corner, going out the side of the end zone. The pass is caught but out of bounds and incomplete. And that was Holden who caught the ball, but he was out of bounds, and there's a flag down at the 20.
Rough on the passer. Defense, 95. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
It's getting comical right now. We need to go back and watch this on replay, but
yeah, we'll look at a replay there. 10 penalties. Well, Wyatt hit him.
Yeah, hit him in the face. That was a good call.
And had a hand on his face mask. Didn't pull it, but hit him with his right hand on the face mask and the left hand on the shoulder pad. Didn't tackle him, just pushed him back a little bit, but 10th penalty on Georgia. 70 yards in penalties tonight. Handoff, Robinson. Cuts at the 6, in between the hash marks. We tackle him at the 3. Lewis Seen and Quay Walker, a safety from Cedar Hill, Texas, and Walker, a senior from Cordele, Georgia. Alabama's been in the red zone now 4 times in the ballgame, and they have 3 field goals in those 4 trips. They're trying for their first touchdown of the game. And in some ways, it's being gift-wrapped.
Yeah, in more ways than one. Handed the football right in the red zone. See if the Dawgs can find a way to hunker down again.
Snap back to Young, play fake, quick throw to the left side, and was that pass batted?
It was.
Over on the left side, yes, Seen got a hand on it, and it just kind of fluttered to the left, never got to its target. Wanted to go to Cameron Latu, the tight end, but it never got there. It's an incomplete ball, and it's 3rd and goal from the 3 for Alabama.
Great job there by Lewis Seen coming in on pressure. Safety blitz, knew he wasn't going to get there, able to stop and
yeah, Seen jumped high in the air and got
Absolutely.
2 hands on it, Z. Good play by the safety. Alabama with a 3rd down, 7 of 15 on 3rd down in the ballgame. Snap back to Young. He's looking right. He's being chased. Rolls out of the pocket, throws back across his body, down on one knee, a yard deep in the end zone. The pass is caught for a touchdown. That's Latu, the tight end, and Alabama back in front with 10:14 to go in the quarter.
Boy, Dawgs in on pressure, elusiveness there by Bryce Young to get out, and Latu just wide open right in the middle of the field. And Alabama here will go for 2.
They lead at 18-13. They'll try to go up by 7 if they convert the 2-pointer. Alabama wants the ball on the near hash. We've got 4 receivers coming out to the short side, and that's the near side. 1 receiver to the right. They'll go with an empty set for the 2-point conversion and a 7-point lead. Snap to Young. Rolls to the right. Being chased by Nolan Smith. Still chasing. Young's just going to eat it, and will tackle him back at the 6. Young ran out of space and ran out of speed as Nolan Smith tracks him down to save the 2-point conversion. Score remains 18-13. Alabama in front again, this time by 5. 10:14 to go in the game in the national championship. Timeout here in Indianapolis. Our second half brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Reichard in Alabama getting ready to kick it off. Got a lot of help on that last touchdown. A controversial fumble call that stood because it was the call on the field, not that it actually was. And the video evidence in some people's minds didn't overturn it. Here's the kick by Reichard. Will be caught in the end zone by Kenny McIntosh. He'll take a knee for the touchback. And we'll have it at the 25. So Alabama got the ball on the 16. 4 plays later, they're in the end zone. 3-yard touchdown pass, Young to Latu to give Alabama the lead. They failed on the 2-point conversion. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Dogs have to answer back now. A lot of time remaining. 10:14 to go in the game. And Georgia will start 1st and 10 at the 25.
Yeah, no need to panic. Stay right in your offense. Want to go answer, though. Put together a drive.
Zamir White, the deep back. The lone setback as Bennett goes under center this time. Play fake. Stetson sets up the throw. All kinds of time. Wide open in the on the left side of the field is Jermaine Burton. He catches the long throw at the 42.5, the 43. That was a throw way across the field by Stetson Bennett, and Burton was open, and Stetson hit him right on the target. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line, and that'll be an 18-yard pickup and a Scana Energy first down for the Dogs up to our own 43.
Boy, a super long throw from the right hash. Burton ran a deep out all the way across the field. Good strong throw there by Stetson.
1st and 10 Dogs. Play fake again to White. Bootleg Stetson Bennett wants to throw a deep ball. They tackled Jermaine Burton. Here come 3 flags out everywhere because Kyrie Jackson was beaten as
pass interference, defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty, first down.
I think Jermaine Burton, Z was going to give him a double move, and he was going to be open as that ball sailed over everybody's head. So Jackson just tackled. He just tackled Burton around the 30-yard line, and pass interference is the call.
Well, it was a smart play by Jackson because he was beat.
Yes.
For sure, and that was going to be 6 points.
So they got 15 yards on the penalty up to the Alabama 42-yard line now. Down 18-13. Tide leading the Dogs, 9:33 to go in the game. Bennett in the shotgun. Play fake. Rolls to his right a few steps, throws back across the other way, and the pass is bobbled and then caught by Kenny McIntosh. Boy, he was juggling that thing all over the place. Right at the first down marker. Tackled at the 32, maybe the 31. Let's see where they spot it down. At the 32, tackled by Branch, one of the secondary men for Alabama. It's a first down for the Dogs, though. The gain was 10.
Boy, good job there by Kenny McIntosh coming back for that football. Alabama read that. I don't think Stetson saw the Alabama defender in his field of view.
1st and 10 Dogs at the Alabama 32. We're moving to our right here in the fourth quarter, down by 5. Out of the pistol, play fake. Bennett steps up in the pocket. He'll be squeezed and sacked back outside the 40-yard line, or maybe right on the 40. Dallas Turner, the linebacker, one of a handful of players that got in there with hard pressure by the Alabama defense, and they dropped Bennett for a loss back on the 40, and that's an 8-yard loss, and now we're behind the sticks again.
Yeah, boy, Alabama brought corner fire as well on that. Just brought the house. Stetson never saw it.
4 sacks in the game for the Crimson Tide defense. Georgia has 1 tonight. So it's 2nd down and long for the Dogs. 2nd down and 18 from the Alabama 40. Bennett unloads, deep ball, flag down, going to the end zone. A.D. Mitchell fights. He makes the catch. Yeah, touchdown in the right corner, but check a flag back at the line of scrimmage. Far side of the field.
That may be offsides on Alabama. We'll have to see. It's either going to be a false start on the Dogs.
Offside, defense, number 50. That penalty is declined. Touchdown.
I don't know if you could hear it. The Dogs are in front. The penalty was against Alabama. 40-yard touchdown strike. Bennett to A.D. Mitchell in the back right corner of the right end zone.
And a great block by James Cook. Alabama again brought pressure. Stetson Bennett, great job of just sliding his feet and clearing his passing lane. James Cook able to come underneath and delivered a fantastic blow to give Stetson Bennett time to throw that football.
Dogs will go for 2 here. Ball's on the near hash with Georgia moving to our right. It's a 1-point Georgia lead with 8:09 to play in the national championship. Dogs will try to go up 3 if they convert here. Cook is in the backfield. Bennett's in the shotgun. He's going to ride Cook to the left, give it to James. It's a race to the corner. They'll grab his shirt around his waist and tug him down by his shirt tail. Cook never got past the 5, running wide to the left. So the 2-point conversion fails as Turner makes the tackle for Alabama on the extra point try, or the 2-point conversion try, I should say. But Georgia's in front, 19-18 with 8:09 to go. We've got a timeout here in Indianapolis. Our second half is brought to you by First Franklin Financial. Visit oneffc.com to learn more. 19-18, our new score. Dogs lead Alabama on the Bulldog Sports Network. Scott Howard, Eric Zier back inside the Piedmont Healthcare radio booth. here in Indianapolis. Georgia has retaken the lead 19-18 on a 40-yard touchdown throw from Stetson Bennett to A.D. Mitchell. It was a 75-yard drive in 4 plays, took 2:05 off the clock, and the Dogs missed the 2-point conversion. They have a 1-point lead over the defending national champion Alabama Crimson Tide with 8:09 to go. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. Jake Camarda has it teed up on the 35, ready to kick it away from left to right. A measly old 1-point lead with a lot of time remaining. Better to be in front than not, however. Like, winning is better than losing, duh. All right, here's the kick by Camarda. Going to land in the back of the end zone and over the back line on the bounce for the touchback. Alabama will have the possession at the 25-yard line.
Well, the Dogs have got a once-in-a-generation defense at their disposal. Now's the time that they have to flex their muscle.
Got Davis and Wyatt and Trayvon Walker out front. Nolan Smith, one of the linebackers, along with Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean. And Bryce Young will work with 1 receiver to his left and 3 to the right, and Robinson in the backfield as he works out of the shotgun. Now they slide the tight end in motion as an extra blocker, handed off to Robinson, trying to fight for yards to the left. He's wrapped up, wrestled, and slung to the ground by Jordan Davis on this near side at the 23-yard line. Wyatt shot through his gap, forced Robinson to run out a little bit wider than probably he wanted to, and then big number 99, once he had 4 in his grips, he wasn't letting loose.
Boy, great penetration there by the Georgia front.
Loss of 2, Z. They're behind the sticks for a change. 2nd down and 12 on the 23. Robinson breaks out to the right out of the backfield. Lines up widest to the right. Young talks to his line. Now back in the shotgun. Takes a snap. Deep ball. One-on-one coverage and overshoots his target. He had Hall running over there on the far side in man-to-man coverage with Darion Kendrick, who had 2 picks and was the defensive MVP in the Orange Bowl against Michigan. And that was an overthrow and an incomplete pass.
Well, nice job there by Kendrick, getting his head turned around. Perfect coverage, exactly the way you draw it up.
Big 3rd down coming up for the Dogs defense here. 7:21 to go in the game. Georgia 19, Alabama 18. 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 from the 23 for the Tide. 3 receivers to the right, 1 in short and close to the left. Snap to Young in the shotgun. Robinson stays in to block. Young throws, and the ball off the body, in the air, and then incomplete on the turf. It hit Slade Bolden on a crossing route from the right, and between the hash marks, the ball came zipping in, hit his body, and then bounced away, incomplete. It's 4th down for Alabama.
Boy,
that may have hit. Yeah, I think Poole made the play on that. William Poole got a hand across the body. That's why it deflected away. A tremendous play by Poole.
Yeah, it was hip to hip with Bolden there running down, able to get his arm out in front of Bolden to knock it away. And a good job there by the Alabama offensive line. Gave Bryce Young plenty of time to throw that football. The secondary able to step up.
4th and 12. We come after it. We don't get it. Burnett will kick it away. And Kearis Jackson shifts to his left as he floats over for the fair catch at the 37 or 38-yard line. And Georgia will have the ball and a 1-point lead, and 7:10 to go is a 39-yard punt for Alabama. Ball's on the 38 of Georgia. Dogs possession after the timeout. Our second half is brought to you tonight by First Franklin Financial. Go see the friendly Franklin folks at one of their convenient Georgia locations. 19-18, Georgia by 1 on the Bulldog Sports Network. Here's a scoreboard update brought to you by Merriweather and Tharp, the Atlanta divorce team. Not a lot of action going on tonight in other areas of sports, but we'll tell you that our men's basketball team will be back in action Wednesday night at Mississippi State, a 7 o'clock game, and then at home again on Saturday at 6 o'clock to host Vanderbilt. Women's basketball team plays again on Monday at Missouri, and the gymnastics team will have a meet at Kentucky on Friday. That's all Georgia athletics coming up this week. Brought to you by Merriweather and Tharp, the Atlanta divorce team. 7:10 to go, 4th quarter. Georgia with a 1-point lead and the ball on our own 38. Handed off to James Cook. Cook plows his way, jab stepping left and right between the hash marks, crosses the 40, and is tackled down at the 42-yard line by Byron Young, the defensive end. McClendon blocking on that side for the Dogs, leading the charge for Cook, who picks up 5 yards, or 4 yards rather, to the 42.
Power football right there. Dogs going to keep their entire playbook at their disposal right now. They're not shutting it down, but definitely will take their time.
Cook, our leading rusher tonight, 75 yards on 5 carries, had a long run of 67. Here's Zamir White running with some authority. He started on an angle to the right and cut back to the left and ran through a crimson jersey up to the 49-yard line. He got the best of Kool-Aid McKinstry that time on the contact. To the 49 he goes, a gain of 7. It was Anderson that had to stop him after Zeus ran through some Kool-Aid.
Yeah, clock stops temporarily there with the first down. Dogs right back up to the line of scrimmage, though.
Just a little more than half the field to work with now. We're on our own 49, 1st and 10. Clock at 6 minutes and counting in the ball game. Hand it to Zeus. He switches hands after he got the ball and put it in his right arm. And he'll cross midfield and into Alabama territory. Stopped at the 46 by Henry To'o, the junior linebacker, and the transfer from Tennessee.
Yeah, good block there by Fitzpatrick. Alabama got away with the hands to the face. Figure I'll just call all those out since they keep getting called on us.
As well you should. They got 4 yards on Zeus's carry. 2nd down and 6 for the Dogs. Well, we're trying to gain some yards and eat some clock with a 1-point lead. Van Pran, the center, with his right hand on the ball, snaps it back to Bennett. Hand off Zeus. Big hole at left guard. And Zeus hits it hard and runs again with some authority. Covers the ball with both arms and down inside the 40 to the 39. Jordan Battle, the safety, on the tackle. And Justin Schaefer with a block for the Bulldogs at left guard. And Alabama has a player shaken up, and that is Mathis, their big defensive end.
Boy, huge run right there by Zamir White. Massive block by Justin Schaefer as well. It was actually his hustle. He was going down and landed on the injured Alabama player, Mathis.
Let's check in with DJ Shockley on the Cooks Pest Control sideline. Shock.
Yeah, fella, I was going to say before this drive started, we've seen this show before at the end of a ball game where we needed to finish off a ball club. Go all the way back to week 1 when we was in Charlotte for the Clemson game, and we had to salt the ball game away and put it away. This is that exact moment, and these are the moments that Kirby talked about at halftime, championship moments, and they put it on the championship line of scrimmage up front with the offensive line.
Yeah, Shock, I think the phrase you used, that he used in the locker room, you told us was, do you want to be legendary? And this is that moment where Georgia can achieve that legendary status if they can finish the game here in the last 5 minutes and 13 seconds. I think, did TV jump into a timeout, or they're still with an injured player? They finally get him up and are escorting him off the field for Darian Mathis, the senior from Louisiana. And he's holding his right shoulder. And they are kind of slowly and gingerly walking him into the medical tent over on the Alabama sideline. Alabama lost its other primary receiver in the first half tonight. Jameson Williams was gone. They lost Mechie in the SEC championship game against Georgia for the rest of the year. So they're without their top 2 receiving targets. And they trail Georgia 19-18. Clock starts now. We're under 5 minutes to go. Dogs ball on the Alabama 39. 1st and 10. Bennett to throw. Far sideline. One-on-one coverage. Ball just barely lands in between 2 Alabama defenders. There's a flag down trying to go to Pickens on the far sideline. And Kool-Aid McKinstry was holding or interfering.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 1. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
And George Pickens helped draw some attention to that, Z, as he couldn't proceed forward towards the end zone. And the ball landed over his head as another Alabama defender was closing in on it. But an interference penalty on the defense will put the ball on the Alabama 24 for the Bulldogs.
Good aggressive call there by Todd Monken as well. Alabama, after getting gashed on a couple of runs, they load the box up. They go man-to-man on the outside. And when you've got George Pickens out there, give him a shot.
1st and 10, Dogs on the Bama 24. Moving to our right. Handoff Zamir Wright. White runs in there behind a pulling block from the right tackle, McClendon. They're still moving to Pyle. And all the way down to the 15, although the line judge is whistling it at the 17-yard line. The Pile ended up at the 15-yard line. I believe they're going to spot it back a couple of yards, though. A nice run by Zamir White and the rest of the offensive line that got into that pile to push Alabama back.
Boy, good block there by Fitzpatrick again as well.
Line of scrimmage is the 17, a 7-yard gain for Zeus. Second down and 3 for the Dogs on the Alabama 17-yard line. Dogs are in the Massey Ferguson red zone again with a second down coming up. 4:10 remaining in the game. Georgia by 1 point, 19-18. Snap back to Bennett, and a whistle blows, and Georgia will call a timeout.
Timeout. Georgia, their first timeout of the half. 30-second timeout.
Yeah, Georgia didn't like that look. I think we had some formation issues as well. Good, smart timeout. You're in a position here to get a first down, continue to run some time off the clock, and the Dogs, make no mistake, want to find pay dirt. We've been in this situation too many times. You can't leave anything to chance against the national champions.
Well, certainly no one is leaving Lucas Oil Stadium. It's going to be a madhouse after this game is over. Just 4:05 remaining, and 70,000 plus are still in their seats. Let's take a look at the Ag Georgia, Southwest Georgia, and Ag South Farm Credit fourth quarter recap. Loans for land and farms. 3 scores in the fourth quarter thus far. Alabama has a 21-yard field goal and a 3-yard touchdown throw to Latu from Bryce Young, and Georgia's score was a 40-yard strike from Bennett to A.D. Mitchell, and that gave the Dogs the lead, 19-18. That's where we are right now with 4:05 remaining. Dogs are in the Bama red zone. We toss it to Cook to the right. Breaks one tackle, stiff arms a man at the 16. He'll go down around the 14-yard line. He broke away from Dallas Turner, and DeMarco Helms, the free safety, finally got him on the ground just inside the 15 as Cook tried to pick up speed running to the right side of the field.
Yeah, had his ankle clipped just a little bit that slowed him down ever so slightly.
3rd and less than a yard. Dogs are going to line up in a hurry from the 15. Play fake to Cook. Throw it out to the left side. Bowers makes the catch at the 15. He's going to score, but a flag is down. Flag down back at the 20. Bowers scored on the play. Well, we got to check the flag again. Bowers on the left side caught it around the 16 and just had a path right down into the end zone for a score. The officials are talking about it. There's a flag at the 21.
Looks like it's going against Alabama, though, I think.
The referee is talking with Kirby Smart.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 9, defense. The result of the play is a touchdown. That 15-yard penalty will be carried over to the ensuing kickoff.
Dwayne Haight out of the ACC with the touchdown call for Georgia. 15 yards on the scoring strike from Bennett to Brock Bowers. Bowers' 4th catch of the night. That's his first time in the end zone. And it puts Georgia up by 7 with the extra point to come to make it 8.
Boy, what a play call by Coach Monken. You know Alabama's selling out. We slip Bowers just out into the flat, little play action.
Extra point try. The snap to Camarda. Places it down, and Jack Podlesny boots it up through the uprights. Good. It's 26-18. Dogs are 3 minutes and 33 seconds away from Shangri-La. They lead by 8 points. Oh, can they hang on?
Well, there's just way too much time on this clock. But again, you've got a once-in-a-lifetime defense at your disposal. Now's the time they have to show up.
Looking at a replay of that last touchdown, Z, Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint. I mean, this is what it takes a lot of times when you score on a pass play, downfield blocking. And Rosemy-Jack Saint held his block long enough and pushed him out of the way and allowed Bowers to get in the end zone on the 15-yard play. It was a 7-play, 62-yard drive, 3 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. And Stetson Bennett with his 2nd TD throw of the night, the first TD reception for Brock Bowers, who has the Georgia record for touchdown receptions in the season already, and he adds 1 to the count. That's your Georgia Metals drive summary. From a doghouse to a dog's house, Georgia Metals has got you covered. So the Dogs got into the Massey Ferguson red zone and converted to take their largest lead of the game. It's at 8 points. And Alabama about to get the ball back. And the 15-yard penalty puts the ball at midfield for Georgia's kickoff. And Camarda will just send it through the uprights, high in the air. And over the back line of the end zone, well into the seats behind the goalposts.
What a drive right there by the Georgia offense. It started on the ground, a couple of big gashing runs. And then once you get Alabama loaded up and in the box, we took a couple of shots downfield. Definitely kept the pedal down.
Georgia 26, Alabama 18. 3:33 to go in the game. Here we go. Alabama on the 25-yard line. Their own 25. Moving to our left. They send Robinson out of the backfield, motion to the right. Bryce Young dumps it over the middle. It's caught on a crossing route from left to right by Holden. He's clobbered right around the 29 or 30-yard line by Quay Walker.
Dogs satisfied with that all day. Played cover 2. Not any kind of prevent. Didn't bring pressure there, though.
Got 4.5. Ball just shy of their 30. Second down for Alabama. They snap it right, quick throw out to the right side this time. And caught at the 29. And we uncork on Brooks at the 31-yard line. You can hear the pads up here. Nakobe Dean and William Poole with the contact by the Georgia defense. It's third down, Alabama. 3rd and 4 at the 31.
And that clock is continuing to tick as well. 2:45, 2:44.
Alabama's got a full allotment of timeouts remaining. They bring a man in motion and then send him back the other way. Shotgun snap on the far hash to Young. Backpedaling, throws it over the middle. It's caught at the 35, and we trip him up at the 40. And there's Brian Robinson, the running back, falling forward for another 3 yards after the initial contact. Tackle made by Christopher Smith, but that gives Alabama a big first down between the hash marks up to the 43-yard line and a gain of 12.
A little angle route out of the backfield. Good tackle there by Christopher Smith.
Clock at 2:18, 2:17 now. Continues to move. Alabama getting close to midfield. They ride it with Robinson. And Robinson will run into a brick wall on the left side at the near hash, led by Jalen Carter. And then the rest of his defensive line mates join the fray and push Robinson back in the opposite direction. Well, they generous with the forward progress up to the 44-yard line. Give him a yard on that. Second down, it looked like less than that, like he got hit behind the line, but here we go. Second down and 9 for Alabama. From their own 44, they're moving to our left here in the final minutes of the national championship game. Young forced out of the pocket, rolls to the right, connects with the tight end, Latu, running in that same direction towards the Alabama sideline, catches it in Georgia territory. We get him down just by the legs, Quay Walker. Enough on the tackle to make him stumble at the 44-yard line.
Yeah,
that's a 13-yard pickup for Alabama.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Quay Walker. You keep Alabama in bounds.
First down tied. Young wants to go deep, and a battle for the ball. Broken up in a double team down around the 15, trying to go to Brooks. Down around the numbers, deep downfield. Kendrick and Smith, one of them almost intercepted it. They may have fought each other to knock it away. Ball bounced off a hand in that crowd somewhere and landed on the ground incomplete.
First time on this drive that the Dogs brought pressure. Man-to-man, man-free on the outside, which is what allowed our safety to come over the top there and help get that ball knocked away.
Yeah, Smith with a nice play from his safety spot. Kendrick was in the man-to-man coverage. Second down and 10. Ball on the Georgia 44. Minute 14 remaining. Clock stopped after the incomplete pass. Young uncorks one from the 47 of Georgia, throws a deep ball off the hands and incomplete. Far sideline inside the 10. Brooks couldn't hang on. Would have been huge for Alabama. But the pass is incomplete.
Boy, once again, Kendrick just fantastic in coverage, hip to hip with Brooks on that. That ball can't be thrown any better. Goodness gracious.
Brooks stretching out his right hand, hit him in the forearm, but he couldn't bring it in with his hands. Third down and 10, Alabama. 69 seconds to play in the game. 26-18 Georgia. Man in motion to the near side, then they reverse it with Billingsley back to the right. Snap to Young. Drops back. Pressure from the edges. He throws near sideline. And it's intercepted. Intercepted. Keely Ringo at the 21. Off he goes. 40, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Near sideline. Breaks the tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown. 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 Georgia. 54 seconds to go. Keely Ringo with about a 75-yard return. No flags. 32-18. Let the celebration begin. 54 seconds to play.
And the Dog Nation has erupted. The coach's booth right next to us. Everybody is standing up.
What an exclamation point by a defense that's played outstanding all night long. Wow.
And what an answer for this defense as well. Got shredded in the SEC championship game to come back and put this kind of performance up and to end it like that. It is only fitting. One of the best defenses I've ever seen in my life hammers this one home.
Keely Ringo, the point after by Podlesny is good, and it's 33-18. Bulldogs on top with 54 seconds to go in the national championship. Ringo's second pick of the year, 79 yards officially on the pick six. In Alabama, a Ringo ate your baby.
Boy, and the blocking of the Georgia defense after that interception. Ringo takes off and just had a convoy of white jerseys out in front of him.
Yeah, looking at a replay, Dan Jackson with a block or some sort of a collision with the Jai Hall for Alabama to prevent a tackle from being made inside the 10-yard line. Wow. Play for the ages. Keely Ringo, 79 yards on the interception return and the pick six. The Dogs are 54 seconds away from it.
Boy, they're panning the cameras to a number of the coaches' wives. Tears are flowing.
Here's the kick by Camarda. Booms it into the end zone again. Alabama about to be dethroned. And Georgia about to be anointed. Got a player on the field on the kick into the end zone. Looks like Marcus Rosemy-Jack Saint grabbing at his right hamstring. Still on the turf. And Georgia's training staff will get out to tend to him at the 25-yard line.
Boy, in the Dog Nation, ready just to erupt right now. You can just feel it.
This might be the longest 54 seconds we ever have to experience. Get it to 0. 33-18. How appropriate is it that a defensive play is the final nail in the coffin for Alabama?
Yeah, and it's the way that the season started for the Dogs. A defensive play seals the victory
Great point, yeah.
against Clemson. And then we get to the biggest of all games.
Christopher Smith with that interception against Clemson. Dogs win it 10-3. And Jay, what did you tell me? 7th non-offensive touchdown. See, do you know what our record is? When we score non-offensive touchdowns.
Can't say it right now. This game is not over.
It's pretty darn good. 22-1 when we have non-offensive points. It's about to be 22-1. Or is it, you said 22 or 21? 21. Okay, it's about to be 22-1. All right, Alabama's going to snap it at the 25. They got 54 seconds to play, but Georgia's up 2 scores. They dump it out to Robinson on the left side, and we're going to hit the back at the 23 on this near sideline. Quay Walker, and then Jalen Carter was over there. And it's going to be a loss on the play. Alabama will call a time, 46 seconds to go.
That's the 6th tackle for loss for the Dogs today. That defensive front redeemed themselves. after the loss in the SEC championship game.
Please reset the game clock to 48 seconds. 4-8.
Alabama stops the clock. Alabama fans headed back to the hotels and out into the frigid air here in Indianapolis. Georgia's not going anywhere for a long time. They just may take over this downtown area in a matter of moments. 33-18, Georgia. Keely Ringo, 79-yard interception return to seal it for the Bulldogs. Second and 12, Alabama on their own 23. Snap back to Young. Throws near sideline, leaping in the air and making the catch is Brooks, with Ringo defending, and he stepped out of bounds standing up. We never got him on the turf. They'll spot it at the 43-yard line. Ringo pushed him out of bounds just barely, got a foot out, kept going, but they whistled it dead.
Dogs now straight prevent defense.
43 seconds remaining. It's a first down for Alabama up on the 43. Bama trying to work their way down with not much time and too far behind. They hit Brooks again. This time he backs his way into the sideline on the Georgia sideline around the Bulldogs 46-yard line. Out of bounds there. Clock stops with 39 seconds to go. 33-18 is our score. Georgia with a 15-point lead.
Well thrown football, just a fade stop from Bryce Young to Brooks over on the sideline. Dogs continuing to press out of the prevent defense now.
Alabama 1st and 10 on the Georgia 46. Moving to our left on the near hash. Snap back to Young. Drops back, looks. We crawl towards him. Then we plow through him. Wow, what a hit. He throws an incomplete pass down the hash. Trayvon Walker. He got everybody's money's worth on that lick.
Kirby Smart wants an intentional grounding. There wasn't a receiver in sight, and he's right.
He just winged it right down the field.
Threw it from right in the pocket. The refs are actually talking about it right now. They may drop the flag. If they don't, there we go.
They dropped it. You're right. They dropped the flag after a discussion. Remember when penalties used to be called during the play?
Intentional grounding, offense.
I remember those days.
Loss of down at the spot of the foul. Second down.
We'll take
the
it.
penalty carries a loss of down. Alabama has elected to use a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff. Timeout.
Boy, that one hurts Alabama in a lot of ways.
Well, the Tide refusing to go down without a fight here with 34 seconds remaining and down 15 points in the national championship game. At the half, it was a battle of field goals and a lot of defense. Alabama had a 9-6 lead. And then in the third, the Dogs went ahead with the first touchdown of the game on a Zamir White 1-yard run to make it 13-9. Alabama closed it to a point with a 21-yard field goal to make it 13-12. Then took the lead in the fourth quarter. 3-yard touchdown pass to Latu, the tight end, after a ragged play that was called a fumble against Georgia and gave Alabama the ball deep in Georgia territory. But the last three scores have been Georgia. 40-yard touchdown pass, Bennett to Mitchell. 15-yard touchdown pass, Bennett to Bowers. 79-yard pick six, Keely Ringo.
Boy,
the Dogs about to be legendary with their fourth quarter performance per their head coach at halftime.
No doubt about that.
All right, 34 seconds to go. It's 2nd and 24 now for Alabama. And we'll sack the Heisman winner back on the 35-yard line. Robert Beal came in from Young's right and rode him on his back right down into the grass. Or, as this case, the turf.
30-second time.
Alabama calls a time. Beal with the sack for the Dogs defense.
Dogs back into prevent. That's just a three-man rush, and that's Beal just using every ounce of strength he has in his body on a bull rush and getting right through the offensive tackle for Alabama.
3rd and forever now for the Crimson Tide. 3rd down and 30 coming up. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Bulldog Sports Network. .28 seconds to go.
Alabama now out of timeouts. Can't stop the clock again.
They'll snap it from their own 36-yard line. 3rd down and 30. Snap back to Young. Drops back. Here comes pressure again. Throws ball caught at the 50. And that's Latu, the tight end. We're hanging on to his leg. And finally, Dan Jackson comes and plows through him as Kobe Dean had one leg and wouldn't let go. And Jackson and one other player, it may have been Kendrick on the far side, delivered the blow to get the tight end to the ground. But he picks up yardage in Georgia territory to the 47. Now it's 4th and 12 at the Georgia 47. The final second ticks away. And how of an appropriate ending is that? We sack Young on the last play of the game. Dogs are winners. A national championship for a new generation of Bulldogs. How about that? Final score, 33-18. The slipper changes feet, and Georgia is crowned the national champion for the first time in 41 years. And Stetson Bennett will join a very exclusive group of Georgia quarterbacks with a national championship ring. Dogs are winners tonight, and let's listen to the enjoyment here in Indianapolis. The confetti is flying. The fireworks are going off here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Georgia fans haven't moved an inch out of their seats. Maybe 40,000 of them here in this building. I don't know how many it is, but it's a lot. And they're going to have a giant party in downtown Indianapolis tonight, I can tell you that. Dogs are national champions after the 2021 season here in January of 2022. Team is milling around middle of the field. Security trying to usher everybody towards the middle of the field, keep them out of the end zone. There's a brigade of yellow vested security people that are marching out to the 25-yard line to our right.